Good evening, everybody. My name is Mark Corman. I'm a state delegate from District 16 and the chair of the Montgomery County Health Delegation. Welcome to the Maryland Consolidated Transportation Program annual meeting with Montgomery County. Our thanks to Secretary Ports and the rest of the MDOT team for joining us live for the first time in a few years, not on Zoom. And we really appreciate you being here. The sort of order of business tonight is we'll do some introductory remarks. Then we will hear from the Maryland Department of Transportation in whatever format they'd like to deliver us. And then we'll begin bringing up our county, municipal, and state legislative officials to make comments and ask questions of the Secretary and his team. I do, of course, appreciate the entire team that you brought with you, Mr. Secretary, but a special shout out to Derek Gunn, our acting district engineer, who's been doing a tremendous job with us, and we really appreciate his work. We also appreciated Erica's work, who was with us in the time since our last one of these meetings. And of course, Matt Pollock, who's been working on the Purple Line with all of us very closely. So we really appreciate the local folks you brought, in addition to all of your modal heads. I will take a minute before I turn to Chair Kramer to just mention a few issues that I think are important to the county as a whole before we get to some of the more parochial ones, because I hope they'll be covered in your remarks here. Obviously, I think the top issue in our county is the 495-270 expansion. Appreciate that page MTA 60 of the CTP is the local project that you and your predecessor negotiated with our county government. That was put into the CTP after some feedback last year at this meeting with your predecessor. I think my questions, which I hope you'll cover, are general questions that I think are of interest to anybody in favor, opposed, or indifferent to the project. I think you know my position on it. Certainly the governor's super PAC knows my position on it, but I think these are important to anybody who lives in the county. First is, what's the current timeline for phase one, for which the record of decision was issued back in August? 2, does MDOT still intend to complete a value for money analysis as promised by your predecessor? 3, will MDOT honor and comply with the 30-day legislative review process required by Section 10A 203 of the State Finance and Procurement Article? And also, what is the timeline for the north of 370 component of the project, which basically since the start of I think ops lanes or whatever we're calling it now, has been in sort of pre-NEPA review. On the Purple Line, obviously it's of great interest to the people in this room and watching on our live stream here what the current timeline looks like and how the process is going, handing things off to the new construction contractor. WMATA, our local metro system, it's a huge and growing component of our state transportation budget. And of course, you, Mr. Secretary, now sit on their board, so we certainly want to hear where you think the system is heading, how it's going with the restoration of the 7000 series rail cars, and your view on WMATA's short and medium term budget challenges. I'll also make a plea here for cooperation on the county's bus rapid transit goals. As you know, the state, frankly, largely through the legislature, has made a pretty significant investment on dollars, but State Highway Administration and others have been helpful in coordination because many of the BRT lines are on state roads. So we appreciate your cooperation on that. I'll also appreciate that the Corridor Cities Transitway was not yet again removed from the draft CTP. It's not funded, but at least it still survives in the draft CTP. We'd also welcome an update on the MARC train Brunswick line. The new CTP, or the draft CTP, adds, I think, a new page for Brunswick line improvements as well as Camden and Penn line improvements based on some legislation from our Montgomery County colleague, Delegate Solomon. So we'd be interested in hearing an update on the progress of improving capacity on the Brunswick line. And also just want to thank you for your continued partnership on the Georgia Avenue Montgomery Hills project, which is funded in the CTP. That's of particular importance to our District 18 and District 20 colleagues, but has been in the queue for a really long time. So I know there's a lot of other district-specific issues and questions. I have my own, but I did want to mention those things that I think are of countywide importance. And with that, let me turn it over to Chair Kramer for any opening comments he has.
Well, thank you for that, Chair Corman. Your introductory remarks, thank you. And I just want to say thank you to the members of the public who are joining us this evening, to our Montgomery County officials who are here. Very important to have our partners in county government attending and joining with our state partners. And I want to extend my gratitude and thanks to Secretary Ports and your outstanding team who reflect your leadership as Secretary of Transportation. You are all very dedicated public servants, and you put a lot of time, effort, and energy into all that you do, and we are very much appreciative, and the good residents of Montgomery County benefit from all the work that you do. So thank you, Secretary, and I don't think we've had one of these where I haven't also said thank you to Administrator Nizer for your outstanding work. There is not a week that goes by that I don't hear from constituents with regard to the Motor Vehicle Administration, and without fail, if I reach out to Administrator Nizer, the issue gets resolved, and it gets resolved quickly. So thank you for that. And Mr. Secretary, again, thank you for all you do and your hard work, and look forward to our conversation this evening.
Well, first of all, thank you, Delegate Corman and Senator Kramer. Appreciate those comments. And Senator Kramer, if I had a nickel for every time Chrissy Nizer got a compliment, I'd be a very rich man right now, I will just say. But thank you again. It's always good to hear because we do have a good team here, and they do get a lot done, and we're very proud of them. So for the record, hello, my name is Jim Ports. I'm Secretary for Maryland Department of Transportation. And thank you for inviting us to provide an overview of our CTP, our Consolidated Transportation Plan. It's a 6-year plan, which is from years 2023 through 2028. I brought our whole MDOT team here with us today. From the State Highway Administrator, I have Administrator Tim Smith. And Delegate Corman, as you mentioned, Acting District Engineer Derek Gunn. From the Maryland Transportation Authority, I have Executive Director Will Pines. From the Maryland Transit Administration, I have Administrator Holly Arnold and Purple Line Executive Director Matt Pollack. From the Motor Vehicle Administration, the star of the evening, Administrator Chrissy Nizer. From the Maryland Aviation Administration, Executive Director Ricky Smith. And also join us from the Secretary's Office, Regional Planner Kerry Snyder in the back there, and State Legislative Officer Melissa Ihorn. I first want to thank you for taking time to visit with us in Mako. Mako is a great opportunity to connect and understand how we can work together to help solve things for your local county. Over the years, I think we've developed a great working relationship, and I can't emphasize enough that we're not only available at Mako and CTP, as many of you know, we're only a phone call or an email away, and we're more than happy to work with you. Now I want to take a minute to look back over what we accomplished working in partnership with you and other counties from Western Maryland to Eastern Shore. Thanks to Governor Hogan's record investment in transportation infrastructure, we've accomplished a great deal over the last 8 years. With Governor Hogan's leadership, MDOT immediately began moving forward on top transportation priorities in every region across the state. We've improved 100% of the state's highway system, making our roads and bridges much safer and less congested. Of the 69 poorly rated bridges that were originally identified in 2015, SHA has repaired or replaced all of them. We're continuing to address aging infrastructure. We now only have 26 bridges that are rated poor, and that's a historical low for Maryland. All these bridges that I just mentioned are now under construction or funded for construction or in design. Also on our list of accomplishments is the switch to all electronic tolling across the state. The move is keeping traffic flowing and easing congestion, as well as helping the environment, not having idling cars at the toll booths. And speaking of tolls, very important reminder, time is running out to pay your unpaid tolls and have the late fees waived. Back in February, we announced a customer assistance plan to help you help your constituents. we've given customers 9 months to pay their tolls and have the fees waived. And on September 1st, we started a 90-day countdown. In fact, with 31 days in October, we're throwing in an extra day, but the grace period ends November 30th. So the clock is ticking. As of today, customers only have 50 more days left to pay their tolls and get those fees waived. If you haven't already done so, remind your constituents, family members, neighbors, relatives, anybody that you can to take advantage of this money-saving opportunity. Turning to transit, our systems are also more reliable thanks to Governor Hogan's historic investments to lower maintenance-related interruptions. As our infrastructure governor, he kept Maryland's port and airport open for business throughout the pandemic with continued investments at BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport and Maryland's Port of Baltimore. At BWI, we're now handling more air cargo than Reagan National and Dulles combined. And when container ships were backed up at all the ports across the nation, there were no delays in Maryland's Port of Baltimore. In fact, we welcome ships that were diverted here because they could not be served elsewhere. And we'll hear more about these and other major milestones in our transportation business units in just a moment. But I want to stress that Governor Hogan has delivered more projects and more money to local jurisdictions through Highway User Revenue Program. During this past legislative session, he worked across the aisle to get a good deal for local jurisdictions, increasing the amount of HUR funds by 33%. The successful negotiations allowed us to amend the bill to be even better than was originally proposed, and that's a dramatic increase to help fund your transportation priorities and will help provide local matching funds to capitalize on funds that may be available through the Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, better known as IIJA. MDOT is here to help you navigate that federal process. And, of course, that brings us to IIJA. I've been asked for the past 9 months what we're funding with the IIJA funds. It's all right here in the CTP. I know, Delegate Corn, I've gotten that question from you quite often. And this, so I want to stress, however, that this is not all new money. It includes a federal formula funding that was in our projects for our final CTP for 2022 through 2027. And during the next 6 years of the draft 23 through 28 CTP, Maryland has programmed $1.3 billion in new IIJA funding. That's $178 million for airports, $166 million for transit, and $966 million for highways. Now, these allocations that I just mentioned are based on the federal formula outlined in the IIJA by the federal government. So we're working closely with our federal partners on specific criteria to program additional projects for both transit and highways, and this funding will help long-term state of good repair. It's important to Governor Hogan and also, of course, to me to advance at least one new priority project in every county and Baltimore City in the form of highway, transit, or aviation project. There are also potential for some additional projects and discretionary grants that are part of IIJA, and we're exploring those. And as always, we're here to help you apply for those grants. And those are the grants that we talked about at MACO that the local government can only put in for, the state government cannot. So there are opportunities for local government to advance their transportation priorities through the IIJA directly. Shifting the details in the CTP, I can start off by telling you this is the largest transportation budget ever. The draft 23 through 28 CTP totals $19.9 billion. That's nearly $2.2 billion more than the final FY22 through FY27 CTP of about $17.7 billion. As noted earlier, this draft CTP includes a large increase in HUR funds, which you can spend on local projects. The 33% increase delivers hundreds of millions of dollars more, thanks to the agreement between the governor and the state legislators. That increase of nearly $2.2 billion in this draft CTP includes $1.3 billion in additional IIJA funds, improved revenue estimates post-pandemic, and MDOT's higher share of the state corporate income tax. The CTP devotes about 35% of the budget, which is $6.9 billion, to transportation preservation. That's $800 million more than last year's CTP, and these dollars are critical to achieving the maintain the state of good repair for our roads, bridges, rail, port, and airports. Just as important, the CTP allows our transportation system to contribute directly to Maryland's economic recovery, and that's the balance we need for maintaining our assets, delivering major projects, and planning for the future. That's how we deliver a network that's safe, reliable, accessible, and inclusive for all Marylanders. I want to say what an honor it's been to work with our dedicated team at MDOT and all the employees who help us at MDOT, who deliver projects and services every day. I've been highlighting their hard work in a video series that we began. It's called Ports Supports Employees. So we've shown Marylanders what it's like to be a crane operator, 165 feet up in the air, Maryland's Port of Baltimore. If you watch that video, you will see I'm scared to death of heights. You will not see a sequel, guaranteed. I also went out with state highway crews to fill potholes, and I also went out with state highway crews to pick up litter. And speaking of litter, I'm going to talk a little trash right now. Litter along our highways costs us all some serious dough, more than $60 million over the last 8 years. That's $7 million per year. Think about that waste. I'm sure every one of you in here could think of better ways to spend $7 million per year. At MDOT, we launched a program to encourage people to stop this waste, or in other words, put waste where it belongs. So I brought some reusable bags that we're handing out so people can put them in their cars. If you had the headrest, got the two prongs come down, you hook these on the prongs, hangs on the back of your seat, put your trash in there, and empty it when you reach your destination. I also want to mention that we created two superheroes. We have Recycle Ruby and Can It Clay, and the reason we created the superheroes is to have kids shame their parents into not throwing trash out the window. And it's just not state roads, it's county roads also, right? It looks terrible, it's dangerous for our employees to pick up, and it wastes a lot of dough. So we need your help. Please spread the word to put trash in a bag instead of on our roadways. And if you do look at that video, you will see that I introduced people to what a trash can actually looks like. And it does not look like our highway system, I can assure you. So if we all do our part, we can stop garbage and $60 million from, get ready for it, literally going out the window. I'm sure Administrator Tim Smith can find much better ways to spend $60 million. And with that, I will turn it over to Tim Smith, Administrator for MDOT SHA.
Thank you, Jim. Good evening, Senator Kramer and Delegate Corman and elected officials in attendance. It's an honor to be here, actually in person this year. Last 2 years been in virtual, but the real honor is, Delegate Corman mentioned, is just leading a team in like District 3 with our acting district engineer right now, Derek Gunn. Sometimes you rebuild, and other cases you reload, and we just reloaded with Derek. Last year, you heard me talk about how we were building our shelf of projects as we were preparing for IIJA, and it really fell into three different kind of buckets. One was asset management, where we're looking for getting the best state of good repair for our assets, and the assets are beyond pavements and bridges. It includes signals and traffic barriers and drainage. It also involved accessibility, where we're focusing on our vulnerable users and getting towards that Vision Zero goal. And then lastly, mobility, where we're looking at our existing footprint and trying to use technology along with minor geometric improvements to get the most efficient use of our existing roadway to get vehicles and pedestrians from point A to B safely and efficiently. You'll see through the SHA pages of the CTP, we have kind of a suite of those type of projects fitting into those three different categories as we try to connect people to life's opportunities. You heard Secretary Ports mention kind of our statewide progress, but wanted to kind of highlight just a couple here in Montgomery County. One is we're just about to complete our Maryland 97 Brookville bypass this fall. That's a 2-lane highway bypass with bicycle-compatible shoulders, and we divert traffic around Brookville to preserve the historic nature of the town. And I want to thanks to the county for their contribution, as this project will improve not only traffic but also safety operations for our north-south commuters in that area. Another one, earlier this year we completed intersection improvements at 190 River Road and Brayburn. We added pedestrian activated traffic signals, channelized islands, and relocated pedestrian crossings there, along with improved sidewalks to enhance safety, especially to and from Walt Whitman High School there. So we're harnessing the benefit of IIJA enable funding with our team to improve conditions like across those three different buckets, as I mentioned, and to add value across the state for the next 5 years. So in Montgomery County, as Delegate Corman mentioned, is one of those is Maryland 97 Montgomery Hills. We have fully funded that to improve both safety, but more importantly, the accessibility there in Silver Spring. So that IIJ money will enable us to fund all phases and put the project through construction that will address the county's top priority. I also wanted to highlight accessibility as we look at our CTP, as we kind of, like I mentioned before, move towards zero deaths and Vision Zero goals. So you won't necessarily see that show up in individual project PIF sheets in the CTP, but you will see that we dedicated an additional $80 million towards us to help us move towards those goals. And so we've identified priority corridors for us to focus on for accessibility and resource-wise. Two of those locations are right here in Montgomery County. One is Maryland 124 in Gaithersburg, and another one is Maryland 650 in Silver Spring, are just a couple of those priorities where we're using data as well as the customer feedback to set our priorities for. So we've identified some near-term, short-term, and mid-term goals to improve safety for our vulnerable users. You'll see some of those. You've seen a lot of those in Montgomery County already, but a lot of them are continental striping, our no turn on red, leading pedestrian interval. What we're trying to do is make it safer for our pedestrians to get across the street. But also we're looking at more advanced geometric improvements related to pedestrian signals as well as geometric improvements. So I just guess I want to continue to stress the collaboration we have with Baltimore, with Montgomery County. I know Chris Conklin and I talk frequently, but when we understand each other's priorities, I think that ends up building a better relationship, and it ends up ultimately building a better mission for all of us. So I appreciate your patience listening to me, and I will pass the ball over to our teammate at MDTA, Will Pines.
All right, well, thank you, Tim, and good evening, Senator Kramer, Delegate Corman, and other distinguished elected officials. I'm Will Pines, Executive Director for the Maryland Transportation Authority. As the Secretary mentioned, time is running out with the MDTA's civil penalty waiver grace period. Please take advantage of the plan now by paying unpaid video tolls either in one payment or incrementally between now and 11:59 p.m. on November 30th. And really specific with that time because we do want to be clear that the program is ending. For every video toll transaction paid in full during the 9-month waiver grace period, the related civil penalty is waived. Toll bill referrals to the Central Collections Unit and MVA have ceased temporarily and will resume on December 1st. Starting December 1st, customers will be responsible for the full amounts of all unpaid tolls and civil penalties, which will be due based on the printed due dates. Good news is our call and web chat wait times are much lower than before, so customers can easily reach us to resolve any of their tolling questions or needs. The MDTA has completed posting online all Maryland customer tolls that were deferred during the COVID-19 pandemic. The MDTA encourages customers to check their accounts at driveeasymd.com and to pay their tolls before civil penalties are assessed. You should have also received our letter encouraging you to alert your constituents to start making those toll payments now, so please don't wait until it's too late. Now for some other updates. In August, the MDTA held a hiring event at our Intercounty Connector Eastern Maintenance Facility. The event was a recruitment effort to bring future facility maintenance technicians to the MDTA facility. This was a very successful event, and we hope to host more hiring events in the future. The MDTA still has openings, and so please share with your friends, family, and constituents to look out for our open opportunities at governmentjobs.com/careers/m.md. For those of you traveling on the Bay Bridge, we've just completed the open houses for the $28 million Bay Crossing Study Tier 2 NEPA in early September. If you missed the open houses, the virtual meeting is still available online, and the comment period for that closes this Friday, October 14th. The governor announced the funding for the Tier 2 in June following the Federal Highway Administration's April approval of the combined final environmental impact statement and record of decision for the Bay Crossing Study Tier 1 NEPA. The 4 to 5 year Tier 2 study will build upon the Tier 1 findings and identify specific alignment alternatives within Corridor 7. That corridor is the 2-mile corridor that runs from the Severn River Bridge in Anne Arundel County to the US 5301 split in Queen Anne's County. So if you want to learn more about that, please visit baycrossingstudy.com for additional information. And with that, I want to thank you, and I'll now turn it over to the star of the show, Holly Arnold, with the MTA.
I think the real star is sitting here next to me. So thank you all. Good evening, everyone. For the record, I'm Holly Arnold, the administrator for the Maryland Transit Administration, and I am joined by Matt Pollack, the executive director for the Purple Line. And I'm really glad to be here with you to report that it's an exciting time to be working in transit in Maryland. In June, MTA celebrated the 5-year anniversary of the Baltimore Link launch, which brought high-frequency transit with buses arriving every 15 minutes or less to the region. In addition to a more efficient transit network, Baltimore Link also set the stage for dozens of innovations and enhancements for the rider experience across the state, including MARC and commuter bus riders in your county. Most notably, real-time GPS capability through the transit app on all of our fixed route service, enabling riders to know when their commuter bus or MARC train will arrive, and mobile fare payment with CharmPass. And just last year, we launched Charmflex 3 and 10-day fare passes in response to those riders who need more flexible commute options. MTA continues to make significant capital investments in state of good repair projects to ensure the transit system remains a safe and reliable transportation option for the region. Items planned for funding in the current CTP between now and 2028 include $185 million for MARC train, locomotive, and railcar overhauls and replacements, and $237 million for MARC train track and guideway. MTA is also preparing for the future of transit. The $65 million MARC Riverside Heavy Maintenance Facility in Baltimore is nearing completion and will enable MTA to enhance its locomotive and railcar maintenance capabilities and will help support major transit infrastructure improvements along the entire Northeast Corridor. We're also continuing to work collaboratively with stakeholders to explore the feasibility of expanding service on the Brunswick line to Western Maryland and to identify opportunities to improve existing service on the line. MTA is in the final stages of completing the first 50-year statewide transit plan. Building upon existing regional and local transit plans across the state, this plan outlines a 50-year vision for transit in Maryland to help define transit needs across the state for future generations. We really appreciate Montgomery County's participation in the development of the plan, and we look forward to moving into implementation. MTA remains committed to delivering the Purple Line, a critical transit project for the residents of Maryland. Our new design-build contractor, Maryland Transit Solutions, is progressing construction all across the alignment. As we speak, construction is occurring at the Paul S. Sarbanes Transit Center in Silver Spring, the Bethesda Metro Station, Connecticut Avenue, and Littonsville. MTA also makes a significant investment in transit in Montgomery County by providing $43.7 million in operating and capital grants to support Montgomery County transit operations. And finally, I'll close my remarks with noting that MTA is pleased to award $263,000 for Montgomery County's statewide transit innovation grant project to procure simulators and develop a 5-week training program that will prepare bus operators to better handle high-risk events and improve safety for operators, riders, and other roadway users. So thank you, and I'll now turn it over to the MBA Administrator, Chrissy Neiser.
Thank you, Holly. I appreciate it, and it's a pleasure to be with you all this evening. At M.MBA, we remain focused on providing that premier customer service, whether it's inside the branch office or through our alternative services. One of the greatest ways we've been able to move forward from a customer service standpoint is our award-winning project called Customer Connect. I've talked about it the last few years, and I'm happy to say we fully deployed it as of December of last year. That really gives us what we like to call the 360 view of the customer, and all that means is you can go in one place and you can see everything related to your driving record, your vehicle registration, your vehicle emissions, any correspondence that we sent to you since we went live with the new system. It also allows more transactions to be done online than ever before, and in fact 74% of our transactions are now happening outside that traditional customer agent serving a customer at our branch offices, which obviously is a huge change from where we were over the last several years. We also encourage customers to check out all those services that you can do. A lot of new features there, from making an appointment, seeing your driver license information, and checking what your deadline might be for vehicle emissions. As I said, we are appointment only still, and so that enables us really to more efficiently serve our customers. In fact, on average, about 75% of our customers are being served within 15 minutes or less. That's the kind of guarantee that we've made to customers that with the appointments that we would serve them within. We're also continuing to expand what we call our one-stop shop. We like to say that customers, just want the services they need, and our branch offices are often in really accessible locations that hopefully we can provide other government services at. And I think Gaithersburg is a great example of that. So we not only have an EasyPass service center if you need to take a transaction or work with EasyPass employees. We also now have our Veterans Affairs Benefit Center, so for our veterans, they can go in there and get the services that they might need, as well as you can get TSA pre-check or TWIC services. So TWIC's important for our port workers who need that background check in order to get access to the port. All branches within Montgomery County all now have access to a 24-hour tag return box. That's something that came out of COVID too, just a way of providing service in a more accessible way so that anybody can complete that tag return at any time they need. In May, Maryland became only the second state to launch Maryland Mobile ID and Apple Wallet. That is a voluntary and secure program. There's no fee to it if you decide to join. If you're an Apple user, you just go right into your wallet and you can add your service from there. It will require you to have your license and take a photo and do a few other things to confirm your identity. You might ask, why would I want my driver's license on my phone? The reason is you hand over that physical license, and Senator Kagan knows this very well, and you're giving all this information to folks that don't need that information. Right now, the mobile ID is accepted by TSA, both at BWI and Reagan National, as well as many other airports throughout the country. And in working with TSA, you would assume, at least I did, they're law enforcement, they need all the data on your license. That's actually not true. They needed 4 pieces of data on the license. So when you're handing over the entire license for them to allow you to enter the secure facility, you're really giving access to a lot more information than you need. So that's why we're interested in the technology. Again, it's voluntary. If individuals don't want to do it, then certainly no need to, but we are excited, and there's been a lot of interest within our customers. And for those who are Android users, we're going to have a solution for you as well. We want to make sure that there's equal access to the service. I know we've talked about Real ID a lot over the last several years. I'm proud to say Maryland residents are now 88% Real ID compliant, and that really shows up well against the national average, which is 51% according to DHS. That deadline does remain May of 2023, so we continue to track that and make sure our residents are aware of the upcoming deadline. We also remain focused on roadway safety and reaching that goal of 0 fatalities, our Maryland goal. Last year we lost 563 people on our roadways. I know we all share that same passion and know that is 563 too many, even though it was a decrease from 2020. But it's the same issues that we see year after year in terms of speed, that reckless behavior on the highways, impairment, lack of wearing belts, and distraction. And so one of the things that we continue to do is make available local grant funding. And so in September, Governor Hogan announced $193,000 for Montgomery County agencies to address highway safety. We're also encouraging local jurisdictions. I want to commend Montgomery County. You've always been very active in terms of developing your local plan that works in conjunction with the statewide plan, and obviously us working with the federal government as well. The bipartisan infrastructure laws made funds available to implement local plans, and jurisdictions who have developed a plan are eligible for additional funding from SHA for infrastructure-related priorities. And I think that's important because that's something that didn't exist in the past, and SHA has now made that commitment. If the local jurisdiction develops a strategic highway safety plan, they will work with you on safety-related projects. At MVA, we remain committed to being the best in the nation at everything we do, but we couldn't do any of it without our employees. Not only have they worked under really challenging conditions over the last several years to provide that premier customer service, they continue to come up with new and innovative ways of serving Maryland residents, and I'm so proud to work with them. So thank you for your time this evening, and I'm now going to turn it over to Ricky Smith at MAA.
All right, thank you, Chrissy. Good evening, Senator, Delegate, other members of the county representing the county. I'm Ricky Smith, Executive Director of the Maryland Aviation Administration, and I'm happy to be here to provide you an update on the important things going on with MAA. So BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport and Martin State Airport are important economic engines and transportation resources for the state of Maryland and the entire region, as you know. Martin State Airport is a critical general aviation reliever airport providing important services to corporate, personal, emergency, law enforcement, and military operators. BWI Marshall and our airline partners support commerce, including tourism, business development, and cargo operations. We do this while also being a good neighbor. At the airport at BWI Marshall, we have a comprehensive noise program to help support our local communities, including a system with nearly 30 sophisticated noise monitors placed throughout the region. We created and supported the DC Metroplex BWI Community Roundtable, which has worked to make important changes to airline flight procedures near BWI Marshall Airport to the benefit of our neighbors. In August, the FAA presented proposed changes to these local flight procedures. The roundtable agreed that the FAA recommendations were consistent with their proposed changes and voted to support the FAA's plan to move forward with the improvements. This was a crucial step in bringing important relief to nearby communities. We acknowledge and thank the roundtable for their diligent work and for successfully completing their mission. At BWI Marshall, airline and passenger traffic continue to rebound, trending at about 80% of pre-pandemic levels. And during certain peak travel periods, passenger traffic has approached levels not seen since before the pandemic. 3 new airlines have launched service at BWI Marshall in recent months, and several new or returning international and domestic airline routes have been added to BWI this year. Beyond passenger traffic, air cargo, as Secretary Ports mentioned, continues to be a bright spot for the airport. Last year, BWI Marshall set a new annual record for cargo operations with more than 618 million pounds of cargo transported. That makes up more than 55% of total air cargo flown through the region's 3 major commercial airports. We have several major capital projects underway that will add new services and amenities for our customers, while also providing important facilities for our airline partners. Our $55 million restroom improvement program is expanding and enhancing 6 sets of restrooms throughout the airport terminal. The improved facilities will help ensure an excellent passenger experience. Site development is currently underway for the construction of a major maintenance hangar for Southwest Airlines. As the first Southwest maintenance facility in the Northeast U.S., the hangar will accommodate 3 Boeing 737 aircraft, along with exterior apron space for 8 additional. And the major multi-year Concourse A/B and baggage handling system program will transform the passenger's experience and provide additional capacity for Southwest Airlines. The $425 million project is the largest single capital project in the airport's history. It will introduce a state-of-the-art baggage handling system, as well as a new set of food and retail options, restrooms, and a direct connection between concourses A and B. In addition to these capital improvements, the bipartisan infrastructure law provides $178 million for both BWI Marshall and Martin State airports. The federal funding will advance important airfield improvement projects. The MAA will continue to support 35 public use airports that serve communities across the state. For the Statewide Aviation Grants Program that provides important state funding and support for airport improvement projects across the state, thanks to Secretary Ports, MAA intends to administer $3.5 million in state grants during fiscal year 2023 for regional airports across Maryland. This includes $800,000 in funding to support runway extension paving at Davis Airport in Laytonsville. Now we'll toss it back to Secretary Ports. Jim.
Thank you, Ricky, and thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to discuss our 6-year CTP plan. Oh, sorry about that. I said thank you, Ricky, in case those didn't hear me. And thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to discuss the 6-year CTP plan. Now, I will turn it back over to Delegate Corman and Senator Kramer. But before I do that, Delegate Corman, you went through a list of issues, and I'd like to quickly try and address those. I can't write quite as fast as you talk, but I hope I got them all. But if not, I apologize. So you asked about the 495, 270 expansion timeline. We're working with AMP on that timeline right now with their subcontractor. As far as the value for money question and whether we're going to do that study, yes, we are. Once we have the inputs from the section proposal, of course, we will give you the legislature 30-day review process. As a former legislator myself, I understand how important that is. So yes, the answer is yes. The North 270 timeline, we have $100 million included for planning and preliminary design for Phase 1 North, and we expect that work to begin in calendar year 23, and it'll take approximately 3 years. You shifted to Purple Line and Conowamata. As I recall, the 7000 series rail cars, we are making progress on that, especially with the safety reviews. We are, every one of those cars that is put into service, we are checking them on a regular basis to make sure they're still in alignment. You mentioned BRT. Those goals, obviously, this administration is supportive of BRT. I know it's important to the city of Gaithersburg because I know they are asking for BRT on Maryland 355, and we're committed to moving forward on those transit agreements that we had talked about through the P3 once we have the phase developer and we close on these projects. The corridor transit way that you talked about not being funded, obviously the first step to that is to put it in the STIP. It is included in the STIP, so we anticipate funding in the future. And the MARC train, I think you said the Brunswick line, we are working on the public draft of the Brunswick line plan later this year, and we'll discuss the potential service enhancement options and discuss potential for infrastructure to support this service. I will say also on the BRT issue, one of the things that we recognize is that you do have one of the best transit systems in the country. It's called the school bus. And I think this is where we can use your help because, as you may know, at least in the area I live, I see a lot of parents, moms and dads, taking their kids to school in their cars, going to pick them up in the afternoon, and that's all during rush hour. So not only are they not using transit, but they are also contributing to the congestion in their vehicles going to and from the school to drop their kids off. So any help that you all can give us, that would be greatly appreciated. And I think it would, help the congestion problem and help people get used to transit as we move forward. I hope I didn't miss any, but if I did, I apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And that was a great advertisement. Tomorrow is Walk to School Day. So thank you for teeing that up so nicely. This Transit Caucus member really appreciates it.
Good.
With that, we will turn to some of our partners in government, and I believe we'll begin with our municipal officials. I believe we have a council member from the city of Gaithersburg who's with us, and a council member from the city of Rockville. And the way this will work, in this case, gentlemen, is just come to the table here, and you have to press your mic on to make your comments. And although we don't have formal time limits this evening, please keep in mind we have 2 levels of government behind you. So, and with that, Councilman Harris.
That's the right button, right? All right. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, MDOT administrators, Chairs Kramer and Corman, for the opportunity to be here today. I am Gaithersburg City Council Vice President Neil Harris. I've been on the council since 2014. I serve as liaison to the city's Economic and Business Development Committee and the Transportation Committee, and I've also been serving since 2014 as a member of the Metropolitan Washington Transportation Planning Board. And I'm sure you're wondering what I do in my spare time. We appreciate you being here today and for your assistance and attention to the city of Gaithersburg and the many shout-outs that we've had already so far this evening. We especially appreciate the increase in highway user revenue allocations from 9.6% to 13.5%, which really helps us maintain and improve our streets and ensure increased safety for bicyclists, pedestrians, and drivers. We also appreciate the continued monetary support of the Montgomery County Ride-On, which is line 47, which serves our residents in accessing job centers outside of our community and workers who commute into our city, which is the proud home of 40,000 jobs and is the epicenter of vaccine and immunology research in the country. We're also very pleased to see that the state has made additional allocation of funding of $86 million for the state sidewalk program, reflecting goals of the state's Pedestrian Safety Action Plan. There are a few items in the CTP that we want to offer further recommendations or clarifications. The MARC line expansion, we remain hopeful that the third line for the Brunswick line is included per the state's transit plan and the MARC Cornerstone plan, and that funding goes toward this expansion. Gaithersburg is home for 2 stations on the Brunswick line, and expansion of this resource would provide major benefits to commuters as well as economic development for the city. We also respectfully request that the funding allocation be broken out for statewide line 5 to specifically mention phase 1 north from the south. This way we can better understand when the north effort and studies will begin again. As you're aware, the north phase of the project will have a big impact on the city of Gaithersburg, and we'd like a better understanding of the timeline for this phase. We appreciate the state's commitment to include the city of Gaithersburg as a partner throughout phase 1 north planning process. The planning funding has concluded for statewide line 7, but we're unsure whether this will affect phase 1 north, and ask how the $800,000 we use for engineering, whether it's for north or south phase 1. The city continues to advocate for reinstating the Maryland 117 Clopper Road remaining phases. At a minimum, we urge the state to restudy the area and develop various intersection improvements at Pheasant Run Drive, Watkins Mill Road, Metropolitan Grove Road, and at Maryland 124. This critical project has been on hold since the 2010 to 2015 CTP, given the opening of the interchange, traffic volumes returning to pre-pandemic levels, the identification of the BRT and up lanes operation and maintenance facilities off Metropolitan Grove, and continued employment and residential growth in the immediate area, as well as the focus on improved bicycle and pedestrian facilities and safety. It's very important that this long-delayed project be renewed to address the growing concerns that residents have in the area. And I just want to say, since I live close to that area, we're seeing a lot of stacking on Clopper Road near Watkins Mill at this point, and have great concerns that we're going to run out of stacking capacity momentarily. And of course, as has been mentioned by you good folks, the Maryland 355 BRT project is a very important project to us. We'd like any clarity regarding additional projects described in line 50, the operations and maintenance facility. We're concerned about location for that facility, and the current thinking has been to locate it near the Metropolitan Grove MARC station, which is also planned for significant residential development, so we'd like to see what alternatives there might be for that. And going off script for a moment, as a member of the Transportation Planning Board, as part of the long-range planning task force, which I helped instigate some years ago, we came up with a number of ideas for ways to improve traffic in the region. And this is very personal to me because I commute often to Herndon, Virginia, which is no picnic. One of the aspirational goals was to increase telework. And that goal has been a resounding success, although the method for getting it successful was perhaps unfortunate. But what we're seeing is a major change in people's commuting patterns. And the recent survey that the Transportation Planning Board has published shows that a very large number of commuters have now moved to telework. The average teleworker is now not commuting 3.6 days a week. when they are commuting, they're using the roads more heavily than before and using transit much less. So what this is all adding up to is I think we really need to take a good look at how the world has changed, how much it's going to stay changed, and what we should do in order to accommodate this new world that we live in and reallocate resources appropriately. And one last thing that we see is in terms of funding for these projects, we see clearly that the gasoline tax is not the future of funding our roads and transportation infrastructure, so we're hoping that everybody's taking a good hard look at how that all works. So thank you for indulging me for another extra minute, and we appreciate your help and support on all these issues.
Okay. I will attempt to answer you also on these.
Was I speaking slower than?
Yeah, I was able to write down a little quicker. Yeah, I was. Yeah, but first of all, I want to thank you for mentioning the increase in HUR funding. I think that is an important aspect of what we do. We're trying to balance getting these projects completed, along with providing local funding, especially to the local jurisdictions. So I appreciate you mentioning that, and also mentioning the ride-on funding. Appreciate you mentioning that, and also the $86 million for sidewalks. Delegate Corman, that'll help the kids walk to school tomorrow. Maybe not all these sidewalks, but we're getting there. And so I think it's a good collaboration between the state and the county, and as well as the local jurisdictions. So I think you mentioned the Brunswick line first. As I mentioned, we are going to discuss that plan later this year. The Brunswick line study, we continue to look for opportunities for better coordination with CSX. CSX, as you know, owns those lines and that right of way, so we cannot, it's their property. We can't demand them to do anything, so we have to work with them in coordination. MDOT-MTA provided a briefing on the first draft in the spring of 2022 of the feedback we've received, and the second draft of the study is under development, and the agency will be releasing it for public comment by the end of the year. So that's kind of your, I guess, update. But I will say that MDOT-MTA will update the Mark Cornerstone plan next year, and the rail modeling has begun in support of that effort. Let's see, I think you mentioned line 5. So $100 million was included in the SHA SW5 for planning and preliminary design of Phase 1 North. The work is planned to begin in calendar year 2023 and run for approximately 3 years, as I had mentioned earlier to an earlier discussion. Let's see, I wrote down line 7. That line, SHA SW7, was originally set up for preliminary planning for the entire program. Once the first project was narrowed to Phase 1, a separate line, SHA SW5, was set up solely for planning and preliminary design for Phase 1. Phase 1 North planning and preliminary design is included in the SW5 to begin in calendar year 23. $800,000 under the MTA. 60 is solely for coordination efforts for the future transit investments for Phase 1 south to Montgomery County. And so I guess that would be pretty much the update for that one. Look at my notes. Maryland 117. Nothing's currently funded in our CTP on the Maryland 117 corridor, but that doesn't mean that the District 3 isn't monitoring it from a safety and operational perspective. It was the second SHA priority behind Maryland 97, Montgomery Hills in the county's 2020 priority letter, and so we're continuing to look at that. BRT, I had already talked a little bit about that. Obviously, as we move forward with our transit commitments and the record of decision, including constructing new bus bays at Shady Grove Metro, increasing parking at Westfield Montgomery Mall, Transit Center and constructing equipment with the Metropolitan Grove Operation and Maintenance Facility. You did mention that there's a conflict, but that's the conflict between you all, Gaithersburg, and Montgomery County. That's not a conflict for us to solve. That is because I believe the city of Gaithersburg did not agree to where that facility was going to go. And so I guess between you and Montgomery County, you'll figure it out and let us know, and then we'll move on from there. But that's not technically our conflict. I think I got it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Ports and Chairs Kramer and Corman. My name is Mark Pershala, Rockville's council member stepping in for Mayor Bridget Donnell Newton, who is unable to attend. She gives her regrets, and I had about an hour to prepare for this, so nevertheless, here goes. So Rockville appreciates that 2 Rockville projects were listed under the Transportation Alternatives Program. These would be the Scott Veers Drive shared use path for a feasibility study, and for North Stone Street Avenue, sidewalk improvements for the design. We're also very grateful that the state is working with the county on various transit alternatives. We are very interested in BRT, as is Gaithersburg, but other transit as well. All that said, Rockville's biggest concern is with the proposed P3 that would widen I-270 and I-495. And I'm sure you've heard many times Rockville is the municipality that would be most impacted by this project. Rockville's mayor and council, on behalf of its residents, has been unanimous in its oppositions to this project and has communicated this stance to the state on many occasions. Our main points, which have all been communicated to the state already: we don't see the benefits for those who cannot afford the tolls. In many respects, the users of the general purpose lanes will see worse commutes. This is according to the state's own data. And this is after enduring 5 to 6 years of construction, including all bridges in Rockville that cross I-270 would be torn down and rebuilt. And you can imagine the impact that's going to have on the east-west communication within the city. We see further negative impacts on marginalized communities. This is after decades of systemic degradation of black and brown communities. The considerable benefits of the recently completed I-270 Innovative Congestion Management Project, ICMP, would be reversed, with the worst end result for most people. And so I just love this so-called no-build option. Is really a misnomer, because it should be called the already done something very good option, which is the ICMP, and we're going to see that go away. Most impactful to Rockville, 2 Rockville bridges that are city-owned, that's Goody Drive and Wooten Parkway, do not currently connect with I-270. They just go right over it. They would be repurposed to be the ramps for the toll lanes, and we believe that this kind of thing will have major traffic circulation changes in Rockville that we will have to mitigate, and we don't see the state plans to pay for these mitigations. There are a few of our neighborhoods that could be tremendously impacted by these new interchanges. We see further environmental degradation from the direct impact of construction, increased highway use, and from resulting sprawl. We see traditional ways of thinking that emphasize car trips. We don't see a commitment to reducing car trips to the use of telecommunications for work and for many tasks, and I must say that Councilmember Neil Harris from Gaithersburg put forth great testimony, about the telework. I've been in my own business for 12 years. It's been 100% telecommunicating, mostly international. Anybody who's a knowledge worker, that's just a great alternative. We believe that the present proposal for Stage 1 is part of a broader plan to encircle Washington, D.C. with such toll lanes. We believe that Stage 1 will create unbearable choke points, and that we will be told that the only solution is to march on with more pavement. Rockville awaits the traffic modeling data that we just paid for, and we expect that in mid-October. However, we believe that these data should have been made freely available a long time ago. So now is a time to take climate change seriously. Now is a time to live, work, task, and play differently. And oh, by the way, OPEC is still around, and they are cutting production to keep oil prices high. And didn't we see that movie in the 1970s during the oil crisis? And some of us were around during that oil crisis. And by the way, as an additional note, November 30th is also important because that's the day I retire from my business. So thank you.
Oh, well, there you go. So, as one of those who was around in the 70s during that crisis, yeah, I remember the odd and even days. Yeah, I remember that, lining up for gasoline. You mentioned a few things. Well, one, you talked about the bridges and tearing down all the bridges. We don't do that all at the same time, obviously. We have a very successful program on I-95, and that goes from Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and now into Harford County, called the Express Lanes Project. Being from that area, I call that my ICC, if you will, Intercounty Connectors for Baltimore City, Baltimore County, and Harford County. One of the things that you talked about was neighborhoods and the impact of neighborhoods. So the idea behind the P3 toll lanes is to get people out of the neighborhoods and back onto the highway system, because as the highways get congested, as you know, people start going different routes, taking Waze and Google through the neighborhoods, which also impacts our school districts and children and the safety of them. So one of the things that we are trying to do is get people back on the highway. It works with the express toll lanes on 95. That was a parking lot in the morning, a parking lot in the afternoon, and now it's free flowing in the toll lanes as well as the free lanes. As far as sprawl goes, that's not us, that's you guys. You control the zoning, we do not at the state level. So any zoning decisions or any sprawl that may occur would be at the local level. And as I mentioned, you mentioned reducing car trips. As I mentioned earlier, I think one of the best ways to do is get people to start putting their kids on the school bus. That would be a great start, but unfortunately a lot of people do not want transit for their children. So that is an effective way that we could work together on trying to reduce the congestion in this area. But we would differ. I would not. I guess I would be lying if I didn't say that we would differ on the P3 project. We understand Roxville's position, but we also have a little over 70% of the people who do support the project. So we'll just have to agree to disagree on that one.
Thank you, Secretary Ports. And your comment about zoning is well taken. I guarantee you I've been working on that big time in Rockville, and it's not an easy one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our municipal partners. Mr. Secretary, I'd love to see the data on that 70% when you send them the modeling data. That's a number I have not heard before. With that, let's bring up our Council President, Gabe Albornoz, for the county perspective.
Hello, good people. There are mints in some of those drawers, so help yourself.
Yeah.
So it is a privilege to be with all of you this evening. Thank you so much for your leadership and your public service. I provide testimony today on behalf of my colleagues on the council. I begin by noting that we are very pleased to see the increase in spending of $2.2 billion compared to the previous CTP. But we are somewhat concerned that it's unclear whether state revenues will sustain this increase, and we believe that it's time to assess the stability and reliability of the Transportation Trust Fund sources to ensure continued investment. We appreciate the restoration of highway user revenues available to both counties and municipalities to meet local needs, and we believe that the goal should be to sustain and enhance this into the future. We are concerned, as we know you are all as well, about the $185 million projected shortfall to WMATA, and we must work collaboratively at the state and local and municipal level to do all that we can to encourage ridership there and thus creating more revenue recovery within the WMATA system. We believe we need to focus on retaining essential bus service for those communities that rely on this important service, and to ensure predictability and reliability of Metro Rail services.
We are pleased with construction funding for MD 97, the Montgomery Hills project. It's been a priority for some time, and we appreciate seeing it move forward. We would appreciate some more progress on other priorities, such as Maryland 117, which is located in Gaithersburg and we believe needs attention. MDOT engagement in transportation investment is needed to help grow our economy. BRT on 355, US 29, Maryland 586, 650, and 187. These are all on state highways and have the potential to transform these corridors. They also enable connections to neighboring jurisdictions. Together, they can boost life science development in North Bethesda, near FDA, White Oak, and near Shady Grove. And most importantly, we all need to accelerate efforts to reduce serious and fatal collisions, both pedestrian and bicycle, in our community. We have to do this in partnership, of course, with MDOT, and we believe in more directed investment in traffic signals, traffic signal modernization, protected crossing implementation. I do have a success story. I live in Kensington, and on Connecticut Avenue by Saul Road, where there have been two, one near fatal and one fatal collision, all in the last 5 years. Within 5 years of each other, both in October, interestingly. But there is now a left-hand turn signal that has been placed that the community has been advocating for some time. And I really appreciate, as just one example of many, representatives from our delegation who fight so hard on behalf of our constituents. And I especially want to thank the District 18 delegation for making that happen. Lastly are the opportunity lanes, which remains a very divided issue in our community. But we appreciate the efforts to obtain, MDOT's efforts to obtain the support of the Board of Public Works, the Transportation Planning Board, and the majority of the County Council. But it was relied on commitments by the state to deliver transit infrastructure in parallel with the highway project, notwithstanding substantial efforts by the county to frame an agreement around these commitments. MDOT has not been able to get this done to our knowledge to date, and this calls into questions whether or not MDOT is fully committed to intending and honor its obligations that were made as part of these agreements. But we have confidence that we will be able to work through those issues, and we appreciate your leadership, Mr. Secretary. Thank you all very much for your partnership, and I would appreciate the opportunity to answer any questions if you've got them.
Sure. So just to be clear, I think I know you know this, but the $2.2 billion is over a six-year period. But just in case anybody's out there listening and thinks it's all this year, it's not. It's a 6-year plan from the federal government. Appreciate your comments again on HURs. I think we've been hearing that from almost every speaker that's come up here. It was a partnership between the governor and the legislators. I just want to make it clear that your legislators were part of that solution. So the $185 million WMATA funding, that is troubling in the out years. As you know, transit has been struggling with returning ridership. Earlier speaker said how people are driving instead of taking transit because they're only getting in once or twice a week. That's something that we've seen. It's something that MTA has seen. As a matter of fact, MARC train service, I think, is about 30%?
35%.
35%, only up to 35% ridership. So when we talk about expansion, we're at 35% now. So we got plenty of room for people right now. But also, as was mentioned earlier, the highway system has recovered much quicker than all transit modes, whether it be bus or rail, whether it be light rail or heavy rail. I already spoke to 117, and I do want to thank you for talking about highway safety. We have the governor's highway safety official right here, Christy Nizer, and you're right. It takes all of us working together. I was deputy administrator in NHTSA, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, in my previous life. It's something that's very personal to me. I have pulled kids out of vehicles in a fatal situation. It's very personal to me, trust me. And and I don't think there's anything more important that we can do than try and save lives, but it's got to take it from the federal, state, local, and I'll say municipal levels. And we encourage everyone to create a plan. So thank you for that. I think I hit everything.
Yeah, I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
just trying to remember it all, but yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you all very much.
So thank you.
Thank you, Council President Albornoz. We'll now turn to the members of the delegation. I do not believe we have anybody from District 39, so we will go to District 20 as we go in reverse order by popular demand.
Uh-oh. It's like I never talked to her. I think she's got me on speed dial.
Turn on your microphone.
Okay, am I on? We're good? Welcome to Montgomery County. I'm Delegate Lori Charcuti, it's good to see everyone. Thank you for being here and for all your good work getting us to this point and to a really exciting and historic CTP. I have a couple issues I want to address, and as impressed as I am with your ability to do everything,
Cool.
you know, after people speak, I'm going to go one at a time so you can respond each time. So I actually want to start by thanking you for fully funding the Montgomery Hills Georgia Avenue project, and that has been a long time coming. Really grateful. It's a really important model of a complete street. It's about moving people, not just cars, and that's has extraordinary implications for the ability to do work then around housing in that area, business development, and really increasing the walkability, the safety, the bikeability of the whole area, and then connecting it to right now the metro and then eventually the Purple Line. So it's a model, and I hope that it becomes a model for other projects. I will say that I have been in that community with the activists working on that who have mimeographed. Do you remember mimeographs? Do you remember the oil embargo? Do you remember mimeographs? They've been working on this for so long that they have mimeographs from the earlier, projects and activities on this. So anyways, we're grateful. And did you want to say that?
No,
I don't think
other than the fact you're too young for mimeographs.
But I saw them.
But okay, reruns.
That's right. They had them because that's how long this project's been in the effort. So my next set of questions is actually about IIJA funding. And Mr. Secretary, I know people have asked you about this in the other CTPs. And two areas in particular, the National Highway Performance Program and the Surface Transportation Block Grant, both of those, the IIJA not only has funding, their formula funding, but also explicitly talks about, and I have the various guidance here, explicitly talks about the ability to flex funds and to spend funds that previously were restricted to highways now on transit, and also explicitly talks about using them for complete streets, in some cases for pedestrian safety, for bike pathways. And so I want to make sure that you and I are on the same page in understanding what this guidance says. And then I want to understand how that is reflected both in this CTP and going forward, how the department can ensure that those funds are spent in these flexible ways to meet our transit and complete street goals in the state.
Okay. So, first of all, let me say that the numbers that I gave, 178 million for airports, 166 million for transit, and 966 million for highways, was the federal formula. So it was the House, the Congress, members of the House, members of the Senate, and the President of the United States that created those formulas. So they determined that they thought highways was a priority also, and that's how they delegated the funding down to us. With that, there is some flexibility, to use your term, flex funds into other areas. But that cannot be done, I'll call it willy-nilly. You can't just move all the funding over. It has to be done by a project-by-project issue. At least that's what our planning folks are telling me. And so we have flexed some of that funding in the past, and I'm sure we will continue to do some of that. But when you ask, now I talked about the federal priorities, right? between the House, Senate, and the President. That's their priorities. But if you look at page 21 in this document right here, you'll see the formula funding for Governor Hogan and this administration. And I can point to the fact that it's $39.2 million for highways and $35.9 million for transit. So it's a much more balanced approach than what we received from the feds this time.
I'm not sure if that completely answers the question. I won't take up
tried.
the whole night. Yeah, thank you. I mean, when you say the money that was, when you say the federal government allocated for highways, I mean, I'm looking at specifically these two grant formulas. So National Highway Performance Program would sound like it's highways, and yet that is that is one of the grant areas that can be up to, I believe, 50% flexed to transit. So that's a pretty substantial ability for us.
That's one part of the program. What I was talking about is the numbers I gave you is all of our new monies. So the IIJA funds that are new, okay? Again, keep in mind, IIJA is nothing different than Ice-T, T21, Safety Lou, or Safety Lou. It's just another name for our formula funding. So it includes all the formula funding we had for 2022 through 2027, plus the monies that I just talked about, 966, 166, 178.
Correct. But my understanding is the other really beneficial thing that IIJA does is it adds this new flexibility that wasn't there in the past.
In some of the programs.
In these two
some of the programs.
In the two highway programs. So my question is, how is the state going to take advantage of that new flexibility? In addition to the additional money, also the new flexibility that it provides.
So this is a 6-year program, and we've laid out our priorities. And as I just mentioned, we took a balanced approach with putting 39.2% in highways, 35.9% in transit. I think that's a very balanced approach as we move forward.
Of the new funds.
That's what's in our CTP right now.
Okay. I think I don't want to take up the whole night, so I have my colleagues waiting. We'll follow up on this because I'm not sure that I still have a clear answer to my question about the federal funds. The next issue that I wanted to address is the purple line. I want to begin by saying that I and many people in my community are thrilled that the purple line is coming. It can't come fast enough, and concerned about all the delays. So build it as quickly as possible. That's point number one. There's sort of three pieces that I want to ask you to be paying attention to, and I know, looking at Matt, and I'm grateful for all of the interactions that we have had and all your attention to the concerns that we've raised. But there's really three critical issues that sort of remain and I think haven't been fully addressed. And so the first and the most substantial is the pedestrian safety during the construction. So the construction is being done on roads that already had abysmal records in terms of pedestrian safety. In my district, for example, that's University Boulevard, it's Piney Branch Road. There are areas that already people were being killed crossing those streets. Purple Line's made it worse, and in fact, in one case, I mean, the Purple Line is in some ways slowing down some of the crosswalks that would otherwise have been built because they're going to be done after the Purple Line's done. I've asked for, and it looks like in one particular place we've got a crosswalk happening a little faster than the end of the Purple Line, although it's not clear how much faster. But more generally, I think, recently the subcommittee of the Montgomery County delegation asked for SHA and MTA to come and talk about how pedestrian safety is being addressed during the Purple Line. The presentation was part of the answer. It still feels like there is not a comprehensive plan across the board to address pedestrians. So some of the really, honestly, low-hanging fruit of don't close both sidewalks at the same time seems to have been addressed, so that's good, but it should have been done 5 years ago. But there's a lot of other things in the way that pedestrians are rerouted that's very, very dangerous, and really hasn't been comprehensively addressed. So I won't go through all the details right now, but I just want to take this opportunity to flag that it's still not at an acceptable level in terms of safety for pedestrians.
So I'm going to ask Matt to address it a little further, but I will say this. You know, I toured the Purple Line, and actually right in your area, I'm sure. And when we talk about pedestrian safety, you know, I can't go back to 5 years ago, wasn't here, but I can tell you that we are focused on it now. We had a different contractor then. We have a better contractor now, and Matt is in charge. As far as pedestrian safety, I know that we were very, very much out there, especially when school started. We worked with the school system. And we also had our ambassadors out, what we call ambassadors, or I think they called them flaggers at first, which I hated that term. So we were going back to ambassadors to work with the community and work with the kids on safe passageways for pedestrians. So I think we're doing a much better job now that we have a better understanding. But there are going to be some challenges. There are things that occur that we don't anticipate. For example, if somebody hits a gas line or somebody hits a water line, you know, these are things that we cannot anticipate sometimes. Sometimes they're not on the drawings. So you're going to have some things in a construction zone that occur that we're not ready for. But we will do our best. But with that, Matt, I'll go ahead and let you address some of that.
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Delegate. Well, certainly safety is our top priority when it comes to construction. Safety in everything we do. With regards to pedestrian safety, it's also a daily priority for the team. I mean, it starts with our awareness. Our construction teams are meeting weekly to discuss all the maintenance of traffic plans. We not only have the ambassadors in the field, we have our inspectors in the field keeping an eye on everything, as well as our community and our outreach teams that are talking to the households, also to the businesses. And also, while they're out there, they're checking the signage to make sure that it's maintained and stays to the state standard. We're continuing to work with Derek and his team, Joe Moges, and all the other folks out there. I guess, you know, going back to your original statement, it's true that sometimes there are not convenient options during construction when it comes to pedestrian access. And there are going to be times where we have no choice but to enact these longer detours for safety reasons.
Yeah, it's just close by saying it needs to be addressed. I mean, like, it needs to be continually addressed, and we'll be in touch on that. The second thing I wanted to talk about in terms of Purple Line is small business impact. I think there has been an improvement in terms of considering how and communication with the small businesses, but I just want to flag that as something that really needs to be paid attention to. There are times that small businesses don't get the heads up that's needed. I think that there's been a lot of improvement recently, but I just do feel the need to flag that.
Sure.
And the third thing that I want to flag on Purple Line construction is the issue of trees, which I've had legislation on. I've worked with some of your staff on. Some of your staff's been great, but I just want to say that when all the trees were taken down for the building of the Purple Line, the plan to replace them is mostly shrubbery because of, you know, where lines will be. And so, as you know, my bill and what I continue to advocate for is that MDOT work with private landowners, with the county, with MCPS, with municipalities to get trees back into those neighborhoods. And while and those can be planted right now. They don't need to wait till the Purple Line's completed. So while the funding source that my legislation created is now operational, and I appreciate that, I would also encourage that MDOT and MTA, at working with Purple Line partners or whoever else, you know, be more active in looking at getting the trees back into those neighborhoods. So in my district, I have brought together the community and MDOT and DNR and said, like, let's walk the street and let's figure out where to put those trees. But I think MDOT could play a more active role in that process, and given especially that the funding is there and can work with DNR as well. And so I just encourage you to do that as well.
So on that one, well, first of all, I want to thank you for recognizing doing a little bit better job with the businesses. It is a challenge also, because we do have construction zones we need to work in. But as far as the trees go, we would really like to partner with you. You know your house better than we do, if you will. And if you have the community meetings and people want to sign up for us to plant trees in their yards, we'd be more than happy to do that. That would be great. So anything you can do to accelerate that, if you're going to community meetings, if you have a sign-up sheet and say, hey, I like 2 trees in my yard or 1 tree in my yard, whatever it is, let us know. And we can start that process.
Okay.
I appreciate that, by the way.
We'll follow up with you on that.
Thank you.
Encourage my District 18 and District
everybody out there, yeah, let us know.
Everyone else, Prince George's County. Okay. The fourth thing, I appreciate that there is additional funding in several of the line items in the SHA maintenance budget, out of which broader sort of pedestrian upgrades, getting the crosswalks in and the sidewalks and all those kinds of things, the ADA compliance. I appreciate the higher figures in those areas, so I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll move more quickly on getting the pedestrian upgrade safety. This is broadly, so not on the purple line, just more generally. The pace is still excruciatingly slow after an item's been approved to get to the point of implementation, and it's excruciatingly slow even to have the crosswalk or the light that needs to be the pedestrian light that needs to be added to a place where there's a crosswalk, but nobody knows when it is okay to cross because there's no light to tell them. Those kinds of things, like minor things. I mean, I consider those to be relatively minor things. Even to get an answer is excruciatingly slow and takes multiple emails. And I think that that's a staffing issue. I know that you're understaffed. I think it's a staffing issue. If it's something else, I'd be interested in knowing. Like, it shouldn't take anyone, and it shouldn't take a delegation, 6 months to get an answer and then 3 years to get a solution to a pedestrian safety issue. And it regularly does. I have the list of the 25 things that we've been asking for a while. And I think, Derek's familiar with it. Tim's probably familiar with it. So I guess, and it's not just for District 20, it's really for the whole state that these things need to be taken care of. And so I don't know if you want to speak to staffing and plans to fully staff up or whatever the issues are that hold this up, or just priorities, like the prioritizing of moving cars over moving people that lead to these things kind of continually being on the back burner.
That's not the priority. However, we do have to look at priorities throughout the state. So, you may have your 25 projects, but so does every county in this state. And there's not enough money to fix everything. It's just impossible. So I know Tim and his SHA folks have their funding per district and what they're able to fund, whether it be some of the larger projects, some of the lights, all these other projects that we're trying to fund, nearly $20 billion that we have. But we have hundreds of billions of dollars worth of wants and needs. So it's just like your household budget. You can't buy a new car every day or every year. You can't put a new roof on all the time. You might have to fix a roof instead. I mean, we have to make those same decisions. So with that, Tim, if you want to explain a little bit more about the process, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. 2 things, I guess. One is the we need to make sure we're following proper guidelines in terms of transportation operations as well as engineering. That's sometimes the upfront part. Not that we don't need. I think the entire world's faced with resource issues, as you mentioned. So state highway is not absent from that as well. But part of that is just making sure we're following proper protocol, because in terms of making sure it meets engineering warrants. But happy to sit down with you and kind of go over where our critical path is. And there's opportunities to work with either permitting agencies or utilities, because a lot of times it's, from a construction standpoint, it's not necessarily it's kind of like when what was that show back in the 90s or 2000s where they would build a home in a week? Forget, everyone remember what show I'm talking about? Anyway, if we could remove all obstacles in terms of coordination and permitting and what's needed, we could do things much quicker. But there's protocol necessary. And like I said, happy to sit down with you and go over the critical path items. But back actually to your first question related to kind of where our funds are, related to the STBG as well as the NHPP, the bike and ped.
Try to avoid the acronyms.
Yeah,
Well,
it's the National Highway Performance Program and the Surface Transportation Block Grant.
those two.
There you go.
Yes.
Is that we do bike and ped improvements underneath those now. So there's a complete streets aspect to that, along with our transportation alternatives. Now, I know you were talking about transit, but there's definitely a complete streets component to that happy to work with you with.
Well, that's it. I mean, that gets back to my earlier question, which is how can we flex and use the maximum amount of those funds for some of these issues. I mean, with all due respect, I do understand how budgets work, and I'm not just advocating for my own district. I mean, I advocate for pieces of my own district, but I believe that these same things that I see in my district and need to be addressed across the entire state. And I don't want people killed anywhere on state roads. So I'm really asking about it as a structural issue to address these things. The last thing I'm going to say, and you don't need to answer it, but I do need to take this opportunity to formally weigh in my opposition against the P3 toll lanes for all the reasons that have been named and more. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Delegate Charkoudian. We'll now turn to District 19, my colleague, Chair Kramer.
Oh, well, thank you for that. And just want a quick comment. Representing the good folks of Leisure World, Route 28, Norbeck Road, is a choke point between 28, where it intersects with Georgia Avenue. We've got multiple lanes. It comes down as you are traveling east to 2 lanes, and then it opens back up again at Lay Hill Road to multiple lanes. So that's that area, that community has been fighting to try to bring a little common sense to a major east-west arterial that goes from multiple lanes and then suddenly 1 lane in each direction for several miles before it opens back up. And it's as if somehow it was an oversight that we did it on either side and then left a choke point. So just want to put that out there. Hopefully we can engage in some conversation going forward about how we may work on getting that choke point widened so that traffic flows through more freely for the entirety of this major east-west arterial through the county. The other thing, and I'll reach out offline, again, for my community, I know for Legislative District 14, some of Legislative District 39, the Intercounty Connector, rates of speed are a real issue. I will try to work with my colleagues in the delegation again this year, see if maybe the delegation can help support our efforts to bring those speeds down, and because it really is adversely impacting quality of life for all those communities that are along the Intercounty Connector. And we'll engage in that conversation and look forward to discussing it further. So thank you very much, and I'll be in touch, Mr. Secretary.
You've already been in touch with the ICC, and we've spoken many times. Matter of fact, I think you called me on a Sunday around 1:30 or sent me a text.
You've got a good memory, sir.
Yeah.
Or you were really pissed off at me. One or the other.
I called you right back, I believe.
You did.
I called you because you asked me how I called you back so quickly because your text couldn't have possibly made it to me yet. So we have talked about that issue. We have put extra enforcement. We can't tell people we're going to put extra enforcement on there, obviously. It is an issue that we're trying to address. I would also say that I worked very closely with you.
You did,
on that
and I
legislation
appreciate it.
and gave
Thank
you
you.
ideas on how to try and word that legislation so that it would have an opportunity to pass. Unfortunately, it did not. That's something that's not in our control, obviously, from the at least the executive branch. And so I'm more than happy to continue working with you on that. People are crazy out there now. As a matter of fact, I had somebody pass me on a ramp the other day. I've never had that happen to me before. There's a car in front of me. Person passed me and was stuck behind the same car I was stuck behind. That's how crazy it's getting out there now. But with the bottlenecks, the choke points, that's something that's occurred all over the state. And actually, quite frankly, when Pete Ron came here, he said, I do not understand why there's so many choke points in Maryland. You go from 3 lanes to 2 lanes all the time and then back up to 3 lanes. So there are reasons for that. Some of those become zoning issues. Some of it is cost if there's something built out and you can't afford it. There's a lot of different issues. Sometimes a road is moved because a particular constituent or a business is in that area. And so all these things, all these factors contribute to it. We are trying to look for ways to stop the bottlenecks, but it's a bit of a frustrating process.
Look forward to working
Always
to resolve it.
I agree.
Thank you for that, Mr.
Thank you.
Secretary. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chair Kramer. I believe we'll now turn to District 18, Delegates Solomon and Shetty. While they're coming up, I'll just observe we should invite former Secretary Ron back to see the 270 and 495 bottlenecks in a few years. He'll be very surprised to see what he has wrought with his work.
Well, there have been a lot of delays in that project.
There we go. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, there have been a lot of delays on that project for a whole number of reasons. It's good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. Delegate Solomon, along with my colleague, Delegate Shetty. I just wanted to start off by saying a couple of thank yous. First off, to Administrator Smith and to Derek Gunn. Really appreciate your partnership with our whole team. Tim has been on, I can't even count the number of calls with Delegate Charcuti and I on Montgomery Hills. So that was... She mentioned the mimeograph, literally 40 years in the works, so we were overjoyed to see that in there, and just can't thank your team enough for the partnership on that. We even got out with the local crew and took some fun pictures when they put up the new speed limit sign. So really appreciate that. And then to Administrator Arnold, I saw Kate Sylvester in the back there too. Appreciate the numerous calls that you've had with those of us from the General Assembly that have been really digging in on the MARC rail improvements. I know we have a lot more to do, but really appreciate your team's commitment and the partnership on that. And then I always say this, but Administrator Nizer, thank you. You are like the most responsive person to our constituent issues. My Chief of Staff, Eden, couldn't be here tonight, but she appreciates you to no end. You make us look like rock stars. So thank you. There were a lot of really good things in the CTP. I mentioned the Montgomery Hills. I know we just had a lot of conversation around the increase in the budget. I will just say, there is still a tremendous amount of work to do on road safety. I appreciate your comments about getting students to take the bus, but I could give you a myriad of examples across our community where kids don't feel safe walking to school because we have not made road improvements on Connecticut, on East-West Highway. Some of it is, the school system cites schools and places, frankly, that they shouldn't, and they don't think prospectively about road improvements. We had a bill that we finally got through last year to work on that going forward, but there are so many instances where our communities do not feel safe walking to be able to take transit. Mark is another example in the city of Kensington, or excuse me, the town of Kensington. So the more we can prioritize road improvements, we appreciate, again, working with Derek and his team on speed cameras on Georgia Ave, but was really disappointed to see Georgia Ave not designated as a priority safety corridor. And I have a question about that. Just going through my notes here. I appreciate the positive comments on Mark. I will just say, again, appreciate Administrator Arnold's team, but for the overall administration, the bill that we passed last year was vetoed by the governor. We got it through, frankly, kicking and screaming. So appreciate that we're all kind of taking credit for it now, but that was not something that when we worked on it during the legislative session, there was a lot of kumbaya moments on. So just wanted to make sure that that's on the record. And then, I think many of you know my opposition to the 495, 270 expansion. I will just say the last piece on that. I appreciated Chair Corman's comments. I think many of us would really like to see what the timeline is between now and the end of the year. I believe there's a Board of Public Works meeting scheduled literally days before the administration is supposed to turn over, one way or the other. Both candidates have been on record saying they don't approve and do not agree with the current plan going forward. So I think there are many, many concerns and questions about putting the future of the state on the hook for something when both candidates have said this is not our direction. So I would urge you to perhaps reconsider pushing something through at literally 11:59 and 59 seconds of an 8-year administration when many of you will be gone as we try to pick up the pieces and implement things going forward. In terms of specific questions I had, I guess I'm going to be a little bit of a broken record here on the purple line, which runs through the heart of our district. And we don't have some of the same. We don't have some of the issues that you heard from Delegate Charkoudian, but one of the huge issues that we've heard is around the trail. And before I get to my question, I do want to thank Matt and his team who have come out numerous times, also answer questions and probably answer more questions from some of our constituents who just go to him directly. So really appreciate that, and appreciate that we did get a firm commitment for, I guess it's October 31st for the opening of the Sleaford Road underpass, which fingers crossed we'll be able to get that open. I know that's important to some of our other colleagues in District 16 as well. I guess my question, since I have slightly different people here than we did at that hearing a couple of weeks ago, I think it was Deputy Secretary Powell who wound up answering the question. So we got a commitment in 2019 from, at that point it was Peter Vanderweert, who was the CEO of the conglomerate and the partnership, who publicly said at Chevy Chase in the Purple Line Now meeting that he was going to commit to opening the trail early. That once the train construction, for the most part, was done, there would be 8 to 9 months of testing for the rail line. And I know my colleagues at other levels, I think it was Councilmember Friedson had asked about this in the recent oversight hearing. But I guess I want to ask you, Secretary Ports, and you, Administrator Arnold, can I get a similar commitment from MDOT and from MTA that the position of this administration is going to be to honor the commitment that the community was given back in 2019 to open the trail before the actual train line is up and running and operational for service?
So what I can say is that I'm not familiar with that promise, if you will, but the thing that we had to balance is safety. You've heard a lot about safety today and being able to walk on sidewalks and trying to stay out of roadways. So in a construction area, you have to be concerned about safety. That's the primary thing that we have to worry about. We do not want to open a trail too early and have someone get hurt or killed, okay? And so we will look for opportunities to advance that as quickly as possible, but I can't give you an exact timeline. I guess I'll let Matt address some of that, but I just want to be clear about the safety aspect. That's number one in what we do.
All right, thank you, Jim. Well, so I guess you sort of know where my answer is coming, but let's take it all the way through. Obviously we understand and share the community's desire to reopen the Capitol Crescent Trail. Obviously, bike and pedestrian connections are a critical part of what is going to make the Purple Line so great. As the Secretary mentioned, the light rail is immediately adjacent to the trail, and the trail's path provides key entry points for our construction vehicles and for our construction materials to get in and out. As the construction advances, the project team will continue to evaluate where there are opportunities to open the the trail prior to opening the Purple Line, but at this time, we cannot promise that an earlier opening date will be possible.
Well, Matt, I knew what I would hear from you. So Secretary Ports, I'm glad you were here, and I'd be happy to, I think many of us would be happy to engage more on what the promise that was made in 2019 and how we could get there. I think, frankly, opening the trail as early as possible, particularly in our section of the Purple Line, will make a huge difference in pedestrian safety. And I will say, I think that was a collaborative failure between local government and the state when the trail was closed to not really come up with, I think, safe alternative pathways through the community. But I think there's ways to do it where even if parts of the trail need to be closed for short periods of time because something went wrong with a test and something needs to be fixed, there's ways to do it that would allow still the majority of the trail to be usable for sections.
Well, let me just address that real quickly. So, I mentioned that I went and toured the Purple Line. I did tour part of the trail also. It's a hard hat area. I had to wear safety glasses, vest, steel-toe shoes, and a hard hat. That's a construction zone. That is something that we cannot open up to the public. I just need to be clear about that. We talked that day about trying to find ways to open that trail early. But as Matt informed me, in a construction zone, you have timelines where you're working in this section, then you move to this section. Some people say, well, then open this section. But then you're back. And then people are confused, and they want to use the trail because they said, well, it's open now. That's just a safety hazard. And I hope that you will commit with us that safety is the important part here. And that's the commitment that you're going to get from me, is that we want the community and the pedestrians and the bicyclists to be safe. That's our number one priority. And we will open it as soon as we possibly can. That's my commitment.
Mr. Secretary and team, thank you for joining us this evening, for letting us share our thoughts and concerns. I don't think that my friend and colleague is at all asking for open construction sites to be opened for trail access. I think our shared interests in our community is the same. We care about the safety of all of the users of all of our roads, our sidewalks, our trails. But I think what we're hearing is that once construction is complete and you all have moved on to perhaps the testing phase and you're waiting for the trail to be certified, or not the trail, excuse me, the rail line to be certified for operational use, perhaps at that point, once it's deemed safe, that the trail can be open, even if the Purple Line is not operational.
Mm-hmm. And just to be clear, that was the commitment and the promise that was publicly made by Peter Vanderwert. Mm-hmm. Again, we didn't force him to do that. That was of his own volition. That was in 2019. Obviously, we have a different contractor right now, right. But the administration, the Hogan administration, is still here and still has oversight over the trail. And like I said, happy to have a follow-up conversation on that. I did just have one other area that I wanted to shift to, and then I'll turn it back over to my colleague. On the SHA side, one of the suggestions, I think, to piggyback off of what Delegate Charkoudian had said, and again, I know a lot of this is not a local district's fault. I want to just preface it with that because Derek and his team have done Herculean work with our community. But we often run into situations where stuff gets sort of sent to Hanover or to the central agency, and it gets lost. It gets sort of in a soup, and if it weren't for many people following up, we may not ever get an answer. And that goes for Derek's team too. They have similar issues. So one of the thoughts that I had, and Derek and I had been talking about this, was creating some sort of a dashboard to be able to track, for major projects that may not be feasible, but for things like a crosswalk or a hawk signal, clearly saying this is the date that we expect it to be through the permitting process, and some public facing item that not only could our offices track, but frankly, we could make your lives a little bit easier to say to our constituents, check out this great SHA website that says the approval will be done in 2 or 3 weeks.
It's funny you say that. That's something I've been asking for about 18 months, but we're making great progress. I affectionately just deemed it the Project Fulfillment Center. It's just basically our dashboard for our team to look at what's our commitments, where our due dates are, and just hold us all more accountable. And more importantly, it also allows us more transparency with our public. So happy to share where we are with that. We're not ready for prime time yet, but that is absolutely something we're following through on.
That's great, and I think you would have our full support. And just the last question, I mentioned Georgia Ave. I'm just curious, there's a small portion of Georgia Avenue that was designated. It's really just the piece that was in downtown Wheaton, but I know the stretch of 97 really that runs from Forest Glen to Wheaton has major safety issues. We had 3 fatalities there, and then the stretch north of Wheaton going into District 19, but I know a lot of that Glenmont area is sort of constituents from both sides. There have been several pedestrian fatalities there as well. What was the criteria used? Is there a possibility to reevaluate certain stretches of road for prioritization?
Yes, so we looked at over 1,200 corridors throughout the state. I just highlighted basically the top 10 right now, 2 of which were in Montgomery County. I'm not sure where Maryland 97 falls in there, but I'm being a sports guy, it's probably in the top 25 following football season. But happy to follow up with you and share with you the criteria we use, 1, and 2, where that 97 falls in the list of priorities.
Great, thank you. Turn it over to Delegate Shetty.
Thank you, Delegate Solomon. I wanted to do a couple of quick thank yous as well. First and foremost to the SHA team. State Highway has been incredibly accessible and easy to work with. We have multiple state highways that run through District 18, east, west, Ferris Mill, Connecticut, Georgia, many dangerous areas. So you all have been exceptional. Anytime we call for updates on things or email for updates, you respond, and we're so grateful for that. I will ask that sometimes, the requests that we get from across our community can be repetitive. And I think, for example, just this morning, I got yet another call from a particular neighborhood association on Connecticut and Ferris Mill area that have had persistent problems with maintenance of landscaping in that area that has caused significant safety problems on the sidewalks. And there's challenge accessing fire hydrants, which obviously I think we can all agree is a really serious safety issue that we need to be mindful of. So my request is for these areas where we're hearing about these issues repeatedly and these same intersections repeatedly, that we please try and pay a little more attention to those areas. So that, one, we aren't bugging you, but most importantly, that the community's safety and ability to use those sidewalks that we have in place are maintained. My additional request on that is that we are hearing from the community that as you all are very thoughtfully planning for improvements for pedestrians and for bicyclists in that area, there have been concerns about ongoing maintenance ability. And so I think it's especially critical that we show our communities where especially we are trying to implement additional safety opportunities, that there is a strong commitment from the division, from the department, to maintain the existing and potential future roads and sidewalks. My last note of thanks and gratitude is for the immense work that you all have done on Connecticut and Saul. That has been a persistent issue. We've been really nervous about this month because we've had this same safety issue in October's for some reason. And so it's really great that the community is seeing this improved intersection that they've long been promised actually materialize. So they're really grateful, and I am grateful for your team's work on that. Also, just want to register as well my opposition to the P3. It is a significant, it will have a significant impact through our district. The 495 in particular cuts straight through a huge portion of our district, particularly over Rock Creek Park, which has a very serious environmental impact and an air quality issue we're worried about too. So we thank you for your continued partnership and work with us. And again, also want to thank the MTA for their commitment to safety of public transit and for the MARC I just also want to add, Mr. Secretary, that I have a child in first grade in public schools here in Montgomery County. Riding the bus is his favorite activity, and I would agree with you on the importance of making sure that families are able to access these existing transit opportunities that they have available to them if they are available. Because I will note that obviously this is, as all problems are, multifaceted. Even today, we unfortunately heard at like 2:20 this afternoon that one bus was just not going to be able to be in service due to staffing shortage issues. So, and I know that this is a challenge across all agencies. This is not across the nation as well. And so MCPS has done a phenomenal job of trying to address these problems. And we haven't had frequent ones, but these challenges do exist. And when that happens, it's really challenging for families who do use the bus to figure out alternatives within an hour of pickup. And I just also want to amplify what my colleague said, that many of the schools in our district are across the street. The catchment zone is across the street over a state highway. And when we talk to the principals at these schools, they tell us often that their biggest achievement as an administrator is convincing those families that live across, like Connecticut Avenue, for example, not to cross Connecticut Avenue to come to school. And so, yes, that does contribute to a traffic problem, but I do think that some of the work that SHA has done to improve certain intersections will hopefully allow for safe crossing so that those children who are able to either use the bus can do that, or use, be able to walk if they're able. So I am grateful for the opportunity to chat this evening with all of you, and thank you for making the time.
Well, first of all, thank you for putting your child on the bus. That's great. That's a great start. Appreciate that. The trimming issues. This is another area where we can work together. So I think this year we've had an inordinate amount of rain. It has been a very big challenge. We do have our challenges with workforce, like everyone else in the nation, including the school bus folks. And so we have limited folks to be working on this. So because of those two problems, it gets a little out of control. However, we need you to help be our eyes and ears on that. So if you see an area where, the site visibility is bad and you're not hearing from the district, contact me, okay? Because it's really important that we make sure that people have the correct site distance. We don't want anybody getting hurt because of that. So please let us know. But as far as the maintenance on the sidewalks, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we build the sidewalk, but then we turn them over to the county to maintain them. But I'm not. Is that right?
So my understanding from the area that I spoke with this afternoon was that SHA's team maintains and mows the lawn around the sidewalk and does all the tree trimming and the weed whacking, but I could be incorrect.
The trimming. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I misunderstood.
And by the way, just again, on the record, I just want to commend the District 3 team, because every time we've alerted them to an issue, they are there, they respond.
That's what I hear.
So I certainly don't anticipate having to raise the alarm to your level, because they have been responsive. Okay. My concern, though, is that for these areas that have had persistent challenges, that maybe we can ask the maintenance crew to just pay a little more attention to particularly safety concerns like fire hydrant visibility.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you for that clarification. But I'm always here if you need me. Okay.
Great. Thank you, District 18. We'll now bring up District 17, Senator Kagan and Delegate Plakovich-Carp.
Here we go. Showtime.
Good evening. Way newfangled here. I believe that I am the only elected official, the only legislator who actually served
with me.
with Delegate Ports.
I think you're
So
right.
there are stories. Anyway, welcome Delegate Ports,
Later.
Secretary Ports to District 17. For the record, I'm Cheryl Kagan, very proud to be the Senator for Gaithersburg and Rockville. Delegate Kumar Barve was not able to attend. Incoming, hopefully, Delegate Joe Vogel joined us for part of it, and Delegate Gilchrist is retiring after 16 years of service, and I'm delighted that Delegate Polakovich-Carr is here. Delegate Barve and I were texting about Kim Lamphere, and we're really sad that that neither she nor her husband are able to see all the work that you all are doing on bike lanes and stuff, because she was a tremendous advocate. I'm going to run through a million things, and one of the reasons that I love this evening is the diversity of interests and questions that reflect the diversity of our backgrounds and interests and our districts and our constituents. And so it's really fun, and we're grateful for your presence and for all that you and your staffs do. I will start with a Me Too in all the good ways for Chrissy Nizer at MBA. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm going to run through a bunch of other stuff. The ICC, last time we were here, the Intercounty Connector, and I'm going to endeavor not to use any acronyms, because I think we have, if anybody was collecting $1 for every acronym here, they'd be buying their second yacht this evening. The Intercounty Connector, which is starts or ends in our district. One of the challenges that I talked about a couple of years ago is cell service. It's ridiculous to pay for an expensive toll road and then not be able to return phone calls in a safe and hands-free manner. And a bunch of my colleagues and I have discussed this. I've actually made progress, and apparently there are a couple of towers that are going up, and the eastern half of the ICC will not be a place where we consistently have dropped calls. That is the hope. Anything you can do to expedite or ameliorate or support that, I know that a lot of us would be grateful. Ricky Smith, BWI, Baltimore Washington International Airport, the Thurgood Marshall Airport. Thank you for your attention to issues like nursing stations, signage, parking, and all that. For those who might be geography nerds, as I am, I beat Senator Feldman in going to all 50 state capitals. And Secretary Ports knew I was going to bring this up.
I know you're going to bring it up.
The mural is up there. It's a great trivia contest. There is one error, and there is one state that is mislabeled. And it makes me a little nuts every time I take BWI to have an error in our airport art. And so at some point, while I'm still above ground, it would be great to see that fixed. Will Pines, you have not gotten any love yet today, so you're on my list. I wanted to thank you for your participation in a really interesting hearing. The Joint Audit Committee had an excellent hearing about tolls and about transponders, and we all had a lot of questions, and so I want to say out loud, in case anyone is still following this hearing, the issue that I raised, that I continue to be believing that not enough of our constituents are aware of, which is that the transponders die, and we don't find out about them until we get tolls and fines and penalties. And I told the story, and there was another colleague, I think it was Delegate Fraser Hidalgo, who also had the experience of multi-state and driving through 6, 7, 8 states and getting fees and fines in all states when you thought your transponder was working. So for anyone who's watching, they do die. Make sure you get them traded in. And if you'd like to speak to that after my questions, Mr. Pines, just to give the education that you gave to our colleagues, that would be great. WMATA, the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, our metro system. Please, folks, let's go back. And the wonderful Charlie Scott is not with us tonight. I know that Secretary Ports serves on the board. The Metro Center, the Red Line Metro does run up District 17. We're proud to represent them, and District 16, Senator Lee is here. We need people to go back to using it. It's clean, it's safe, it's wonderful, and it's environmentally the right thing to do, as well as more convenient. When possible, I hope folks will use it. Secretary Ports, if you want to say anything about the new administrator or new plans or anything, that could be helpful. I do want to reinforce what Council Vice President Neil Harris talked about with Clopper Road, and I appreciated that Council President Albornoz talked about it. I would love for it not just to be on the list. We really need something. I went out there, and 117, the visibility, the sight lines, as you talked about, Mr. Secretary, they're bad. They go around the corner, and now, especially with the new 270 exit at Watkins Mill, which we are grateful for, we've got problems in that area. It is a large and growing area. We host a lot of the high-tech corridor. There are increasing number of jobs, businesses, and transportation there, and we've got to keep people safe. The sidewalks are not good, the sight lines are not good, maintenance is not good, and I would love it if you would take another look, and let's see if we can do something sooner rather than later and not have it just on the list. But let's see if we can act on that. I want to join Councilmember Mark Pershela and many of my legislative colleagues. As you know, Mr. Secretary, I testified before the Board of Public Works, I testified before MDTA, I testified most recently before the Army Corps of Engineers, expressing my concerns about the 270, the pricey toll lanes on 270. And with our district, Gaithersburg is focused on transportation alleviation. We understand that. Rockville is focused on the impact on our homes, our businesses, and our communities. And so there is a middle ground, in my opinion, but I don't think this Hogan plan is it. So I have never been in the no, never, never, but I don't think it's this plan. I think the tolls are outrageous. I think we've seen precedent in Virginia and problems. During COVID, we have seen so much success and such a drop in traffic with folks telecommuting. The environmental impacts have not been sufficiently shared and explored. And again, as I think it was Delegate Solomon, at the 11th hour, as we're leaving this administration, and we're getting not just a new governor and lieutenant governor, but a new comptroller, and we have a new treasurer. The entire 3-member of the Board of Public Works, which approved this project, will be new. And I hope they will have the opportunity to weigh in. And so I hope we slow things down enough to take a look and be thoughtful and mindful in taxpayer money and then constituent money as well. So thank you for your attention, and happy to hear any comments.
Okay, great. Well, I will mention, you mentioned Randy Clark, the new WMATA executive director, or general manager, I should say.
Right.
He's been fantastic, a breath of fresh air. I actually went with him to Fort Trotton a few weeks back to specifically speak with passengers on WMATA to find out what their concerns are. The biggest concern is their safety, not from the rail or not from the 7000 series or anything like that, but their personal safety from crime. You mentioned clean. That was one of the other big issues we heard about, that the facilities are not clean. And I think what people want: clean, reliable, and safe. And that's the conversation.
And frequent and affordable.
Well,
I will add those.
Right. Reliability and you're right, frequency go together. But those are the things we heard the most. That's what Randy and I talked about. So I'm glad to have him on the team. I think he's doing a great job. I think we're going to see some really good things.
Good. And I would invite you, Mr. Secretary, or anyone to join Delegate Palakovich-Carr, Delegate Barve, and then depending on when, and me to join us at Twinbrook, at Rockville, or at Shady Grove. There may be some similar issues, and there may be some different ones, too.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Were you going to ask Ricky?
Waiting on the mural. Waiting on the mural.
Is it Oregon?
So I'm texting my chief engineer
There you go. Okay.
The option I shared with you, we agreed it was too expensive.
Yes,
so we're
we
looking
don't-
for an economical fix. Yeah.
I think Mr. Pines was going to talk about Easy Pass. Is that what you were?
Sure. Yep. No problem. So one correction: it was at the Joint Committee on Federal Relations, just in case anybody wants to watch the
It
video.
was. I apologize. Thank you, Mr. Pines.
No problem.
I thought it was that, and then I corrected myself in my head. Yes.
No problem. So you are correct. The transponders do have batteries in them, and they die at around the 8 to 10 year mark. So we try to put out a lot of customer education about replacing the transponders when a battery does die. We do that through social media. We've got frequently asked questions on our website to alert customers to that. But it's a really good point, and we do. It starts with proper mounting of transponders. I actually have some stickies with me tonight if anybody needs some of those to mount their transponder. I had the good fortune to give out a few earlier, but if your transponder's not properly mounted, we can't ensure that it will always read. So a standard windshield mounted transponder to the window is the way to go. As you mentioned, Delegate Frazier-Hidalgo reminded me during that committee hearing that we do send alerts to customers when they are receiving frequent image tolls. That can be from either not having their transponder mounted properly, a dead battery, or certain vehicle types actually have windshields that are not conducive for reading. And in that case, we actually have a license plate mounted transponder as an alternative. We do offer free transponder replacements for those standard windshield mounted transponders if anyone in reviewing their account has a problem or if they receive that auto alert. And you can, if you would like to check any of your transponders, you can go in person at any of our CSCs, and we actually have a machine.
CSCs.
Customer Service Center, sorry. There's one here in Gaithersburg and then across the ICC over also in Beltsville. They have machines there that you can actually drop the transponder in. It'll read it and test it to see if it still has battery life left or not. If you don't want to do that, you can simply request a replacement online. If you think you're getting an aged transponder, we'd be happy to send a new one. And lastly, we always ask our customers to monitor their accounts to make sure that they have good service. But again, for this specific issue, I think we primarily felt like we addressed it when we talked about the alerts that we send directly to customers when they have a problem.
And we are now getting toll account statements in a more timely manner.
That's correct. Yeah, I mentioned in my earlier remarks that we're current with those pre-COVID transactions have now cleared, and we are running current with our transactions. So the other thing with the transponders is that our customers do have the opportunity to when they want a replacement, they can do that at any point. We're happy to work with them to do that.
Thank you. Thank you all. Delegate Polakovich-Carr.
Thank you, Senator, and thank you for lifting up a few of the talking points that were raised by our municipal and county partners about the P3 and Clopper Road. I would just add to that, lifting up Mark and Bus Rapid Transit from those earlier comments as well. I just wanted to ask two questions tonight in regards to roadway safety. As you all know, our state's Vision Zero law really is founded on a premise of using a data-driven approach to looking for safety deficiencies and addressing those. And last year I was very interested to see a preview of a data visualization system that MDOT funded through Washington College called Raven, and I thank Administrator Neiser and her team for giving me a preview of that system. I'm curious at this point, what are the plans for Raven or for other data visualization tools like that within MDOT, but also in terms of making those tools available to our local jurisdictions so that they can make better planning decisions in terms of roadway safety issues in their jurisdictions?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you, and thank you for your constant focus on highway safety. We certainly appreciate that. So I will say the Raven tool is available to all of our law enforcement partners, so they just have to reach out to the Highway Safety Office, and we'll make sure that they have access to that. We did, starting last year, put our highway safety data, and I think you're aware, but for everybody's knowledge, on our Vision Zero website, so anybody can go there. We update that data every month now. So the beginning of the month, depending on what day it falls on, you'll get updated fatality data. Serious injury lags behind, but at least the fatality data is there. It's by county. It's updated by month. So there's some preliminary information that can be found about that. So even the general public can take a look at the information. The next step in that, because as you know, the state police is actually the repository of the information. They're the legal owner of the data. So we're working with them to create, along with our partners at State Highway Administration, who are an important piece of this puzzle, to create a dashboard. It seems like the word of the night, right? But a dashboard kind of approach so that then we can have the mapping tools off of that. So it is in the works. We're actively having those conversations. We want to make sure the data is as accurate as possible. Obviously, that's the key thing. Sometimes when SHA looks, State Highway Administration looks at something, they do analysis and change, maybe the exact location, and that matters to your point, because if we're doing data driven, we got to make sure that we've got the location accurate. So we've got the at least the preliminary data out there for folks to use. The Raven tool is available to all of our law enforcement partners. They just need to ask. And we're working on a dashboard approach that we're putting funding behind from a highway safety standpoint. So I'm hopeful within calendar year 2023 that we get something out there that the public can use.
Sorry, Delegate Administrator Nezar, I just apologize. They have the wrong name up for
That's
you.
what I was
It's
just
not a
gonna say.
prank that we're trying to get back at Ricky Smith for Oregon or anything like that. Apologies for the
No, I
name.
didn't notice. It's no problem.
You might have to dye your hair for the name they're using. So, sorry, Delegate.
I've been called some much worse things, believe me.
No worries. I would just also encourage to provide access to county and municipal transportation planners, bike ped safety coordinators. I've heard from some interest in municipalities in our jurisdiction from that front who aren't in the police department, and I think could make good use of that tool.
Please let me know if there's folks to send them my contact information, because I will say we're working directly with the locals because of the local strategic highway safety plan. So we'll make all the data accessible that needs to be to make sure they have the tools to develop their own plan. Because really, without the data at the local level, they can't develop a plan that makes sense for them. So please just feel free to forward those to me.
Great. And then my second question I don't expect an answer to tonight, but I just wanted to tee it up. And actually, Mr. Secretary, you raised this earlier. It recently came to my attention about kind of the cost share of building sidewalks along state roadways versus maintenance is done by the locals. And it came to my attention that in some cases, local governments have actually said, thanks, but no thanks, we can't afford to maintain. And so the sidewalks weren't built. And so what I'd be interested to know is how frequently is that happening? And if I could actually get a list of projects where sidewalks were turned down. I'm aware of at least one or two projects in another county where it happened.
I think there's a couple, but I don't think it's very many, because quite frankly, if it's a priority to the local government, they'll do it. If it's not a priority, they won't do it. And so it's really it's a local government decision. And as I mentioned earlier, when we talk about our funding and how we have to look at projects, because we don't have all the money, it's all the money in the world, we have to make decisions, so do local governments. And so that's really a local government decision, not ours. But that's the way the system has been, well before I was born, I think. So
I think it goes back
many
decades of statute, yes.
Quite a way. That's a long time. Cheryl's going to remind me. So, but my point is, again, everybody's in favor of a project if somebody else will pay for it. But when you measure priorities, it's how much money you're willing to put into it. So if the local government decides not to, then I guess we look at that as not being a priority.
Thank you, District 17. We will skip District.
We might respectfully disagree with that concept. Sometimes it's a priority, but there are fiscal realities in all of our budgets.
Okay. All right. Thank you, District 17. We'll skip District 16 for now and go right to District 15. Delegate Chi, Delegate Fraser Hidalgo, and Delegate Foley.
Thank you. We're just having a big argument about who's going to go first.
You solved it pretty quickly.
So, thank you very much for being here and letting us
pepper you with questions. I have like 3 things, and then I know my colleagues from District 15 have a couple things. We'll probably loop around because there's some overlap on some of them. Number 1, we have a constituent that is really, really big into transportation. I'm sure most of you know. His name is Jerry Garson. That should ring some bells. It did with the previous administrator. But he asked me to ask you a specific question. The traffic counter 50 feet east of Persimmon Tree Road, overpass ATR number 40 on I-495 on the outer loop is broken. It needs a new detector in one of those lanes. Can it be fixed? And for Senator Kagan, ATR stands for Automated Traffic Recorder. So that's the first question. I'm sure it's a fairly easy question.
I'm going to flip it to Tim or Derek.
Do you need any more detail about the item number? Or
and we might have to get back to you on it, actually.
If you could give me the inventory number as well, that would
Jerry, if you're listening, please text me now.
No, we'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you. The second one, which is another one, is Clarksburg Road 121. There is an enormous amount of construction going on when it comes to Cabin Branch. That construction has been going on for years. There is a section of road between 270 and Westville, Baltimore, that has just been kind of a mess for years now. It has a bunch of utility holes where they patch them, and so when you drive your car every day, sometimes multiple times a day, it's just like a big slalom course. There are cars that try to avoid these covers, and so what they do is they swerve into the oncoming lane because it's easier for them than actually feeling the bump on their car every day, because eventually that does some damage to your car over and over and over again. Also, that section of road can be widened and supposed to be widened, but they have made it very narrow and kept it narrow for, I'm supposing, construction reasons, but I'd really like to see if there's an opportunity to take a look at that and opening that road in a more permanent manner, because there are so many cars that come through there. And the reason I asked that specifically is because there is a rollabout, a turnabout right there, and that when we went into the pandemic, the developer just basically did nothing with it and let it sit there, and it was done, but they just refused to open it. And I had to ask, and then a week later it was opened. It wasn't open because it needed more work. It was open because the developer just didn't do anything about it and didn't care to do anything about it until we complained, and then a week later, boom, it was open. So that's an issue I would love to follow up. I don't know who I follow up with about it. Okay.
I will real quickly address the utility issue. When utilities come out and do their work, they're supposed to put it back to where it was.
Right.
We often fight them on this. As a matter of fact, 170 right outside where our headquarters is, it was a terrible problem. It was like moon craters. It was awful, and I had to call the utility companies in specifically to fix that problem. So that's something that our inspectors hopefully will do a better job at. But if we recognize it as a utility issue, we would also hope that you will make a phone call to the utility company too, and let's work together to get that done.
Absolutely.
Because it is a real challenge working with utility companies. I spent 21 years, BG&E, working for a utility company. Very proud of what we did, but we have this problem all the time. But with that, Derek, I don't know if you want to address the widening or I guess it might be a permit issue with the developer because those permits are for certain times and then they come back and go back. So, Derek,
and if I may add just very quickly, Derek, before you, I am not 100% sure those are all utility covers. That are basically asphalt piled up. They could be stormwater management. They could be any number of things.
Okay.
But there's a series of them that basically leads to a slalom course.
Can we take a look at that, Derek?
Yes, we can. And if it's a developer project, which I think it is, we'll work with our permitting folks and see what we can do there. In terms of just widening or mobility needs, we can internally take a look and see what we can do to ease some of those congestion issues that you have over there.
Yeah, I'm happy to meet you over there. It's essentially painting lines. I mean, a lot of it's done. It's just reformatting where the lines are. It's a much larger driveway that they can go, highway that they can utilize. They just aren't utilizing it because it's easy to leave the painted lines where they are.
Understood.
Thank you. And thirdly, which is more of my big one, is could you please update me on where we are? Because I know a lot of folks have been working on White's Ferry. And White's Ferry has been closed for 2 years now. It is extremely frustrating. There are the folks up at this table, Senator Feldman, as well as federal, state, local. Our Chris Conklin is behind us that have been working on this for 2 years. And it is extraordinarily frustrating. There's over 700 people that use that ferry every single day. That's 250,000 people a year. It is a major piece of transportation infrastructure. We don't seem to be any further along the way than we have been, and it's very frustrating that we haven't had more buy-in and more work specifically coming from the governor's office on it. So I kind of wanted to kind of throw that out at you and have a brief interchange about what we can do to change that.
So, first of all, it's not a Maryland issue, it's a Virginia issue. It's a Virginia property owner that they were using their property, and the property owner decided they didn't want their property being used for that purpose anymore. So it's not this governor's job to determine what happens in Virginia. He's the governor of Maryland.
Right.
And so I did tell Chris. Chris asked me to talk to the Secretary of Virginia. We met face to face, I don't know, last week, 2 weeks ago, Sam, I can't remember, but we did meet face to face. I asked them specifically about this project, and they said they were not interested in, I guess, condemnation or anything like that with the property owner, that if the community is interested in moving forward with a ferry system in that area on that piece of property, that they would have to work with the property owner. It's a property rights issue. It's not something that Maryland can do. It's not something the state can do. As you know, we don't do zoning. We don't do that kind of thing. We cannot condemn property in Virginia. And so right now, there's absolutely nothing we in Maryland can do about it. It's a Virginia issue.
Right, and with all due respect, because I think this has been extraordinarily frustrating because
I get it.
It's because the governor can make phone calls. I mean, this is politics. The governor can call the governor of Virginia and say, why can't you get this thing open? It's not a big issue. I mean, the folks in Poolesville, the businesses in Poolesville and the citizens of Poolesville are suffering greatly. They cannot get across. They have to go all the way up to Point of Rocks or all the way down to the American Legion Bridge. And it's not a big lift for the governor of the state of Maryland to call one of its counterparts in the Commonwealth of Virginia and just have a 5-minute conversation. And that's maybe not your issue, but it's extremely frustrating from our side when the governor just refuses to even have a conversation. I've reached out to the governor half a dozen times. He doesn't even want to talk about it. And the idea that this is simply a Virginia issue, fine. You know, I get what you're saying. I get that part. And you're right. It doesn't mean that the governor can't make a phone call on behalf of the citizens of the state of Maryland to try to open this. And I have to tell you, it is extremely disappointing that the governor has not done more. He's just refused to do anything. And that's just my rail. I mean, it's not so much your issue or any of your wonderful team. It's just extraordinarily frustrating when the governor won't take a meeting and the governor won't pick up the phone and have a 5-minute conversation and at least try.
Well, I appreciate that, but that's not exactly how it works all the time. You know, when it's a transportation issue, the governor talks to me about trying to solve it. I assume the same thing happens in Virginia, that the Secretary of Transportation in Virginia speaks with their governor. That's how that government works. You know, like you are for your constituents, the voice piece for your constituents, and you represent them. I represent the governor, and the Secretary of Transportation in Virginia represents the governor, and we had that conversation. And I know the Secretary of Transportation in Virginia had that conversation with his governor. So I'm not sure. I don't think you get another answer, a different answer, if the governor picked up the phone and talked to the governor of Virginia. The bottom line is, I know how you feel about it, but it's a property rights issue. It's a property owner that they were using their property I assume either without permission or something along those lines.
Right, I mean,
for
you-
many years, and they said no more.
I
They
get
just said,
that,
well,
and
it'd be like
that's-
if I wanted to use your backyard.
Mr. Secretary, that's not in dispute. What's in dispute, and I want to move on because I know
Yeah.
that Chair Corman and Chair Kramer want to move on from this. It's just extremely frustrating because it's really not that big a deal. I mean, we know how politics works. One governor can call another governor and make mention of it. It's a 2-minute conversation and try to push it a little bit. But our governor has decided not to look after the citizens.
No, he asked me to do it.
We're 2 years in, Mr. Secretary.
right.
We're 2 years in, and we're still not
No,
much
you
closer.
have your answer. I just gave it to you. I just met with the Secretary of Virginia a week or two ago. He told me they're not interested in doing anything with that property. It's a private citizen's right to determine what they want to do with their property. That's the
And
answer.
all I'm saying is that it should be elevated because this is a major piece of transportation infrastructure between two states, and it should be elevated. It shouldn't be that simple. The state of Maryland could do more and push harder, and the governor could as well. And I will let it go at that. It's
Okay.
just extraordinarily, not you, but extraordinarily disappointing that the governor hasn't taken it upon himself to do more and won't even take a meeting to discuss it. So I'll turn it over to my colleagues. Thank you.
But we appreciate your passion.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Delegate Lily Chi. I am here to speak about pedestrian safety issues in District 15. District 15 happens to be the largest geographic district in Montgomery County. It's made of mostly rural and suburban communities, which means it's also one of the least walkable districts in Montgomery County. And that's a huge challenge. So we also, on top of that, have many of the older neighborhoods that were built decades ago with poor infrastructure for pedestrians and bikers. And as we all know, in the past couple of years, with more people working from home, walking around, that problem just simply exacerbated. So for the past couple of years, my office has worked closely with MCDOT, worked with and through MCDOT, and we were able to see the success of several projects, and we are very grateful for that, and want to thank everyone involved for the success of some installations. For example, the installation of streetlights on Darnestown Road, the installation of pedestrian refuge crosswalk on Trevello Road, and the installation of a sidewalk on parts of Jones Lane. And finally, our team of District 15 is very grateful for the many crosswalks installed on Waters Landing in Germantown after a dog was killed walking on a sidewalk with her owner. While we are grateful for all the great work, similar unsafe conditions exist all across our vast district. And including near some schools, and that's why I want to emphasize tonight. MCDOT often runs into roadblocks in their work when it comes to doing anything on state roads due to the lengthy review and approval process. So today I want to highlight one particular case that speaks to the state and the county transportation department's sense of ownership of a particular problem. And interagency coordination as well as public communication. So earlier this year, in fact, it was as early like around April, May, it was brought to our attention by concerned parents that students of Rocky Hill Middle School and Clarksburg High School, both in our District 15, have to walk along a dangerous stretch of Maryland 355, Frederick Road, to get to schools. Some parents ended up driving their kids, which of course unnecessarily add more cars near schools. That's exactly what we don't want, right? And many students as young as 11 years old, for example, have to make the judgment of how fast the car is speeding and when they should cross or not. So in April this year, the concerned parents of both schools requested a sidewalk on MD 355 from Running Brook Drive to Little Seneca Parkway through through MCDOT. Upon following up over the last 6 months, they learned that the county was in the process of hiring a sidewalk program engineer to develop a site plan, which is required by SHA for this stretch of the road. But to date, they still don't have a definitive timeline of when that project will begin. And we understand these things could take as long as a couple of years or even longer because this is a state road. In the meantime, the parents' request for a crosswalk between 355 and the Running Brook Drive was denied by SHA after a study that was conducted when schools were not in session, and by also MCDOT that considered it dangerous to install a crosswalk without proper traffic infrastructure in place. While I understand there may be legitimate reasons for not installing crosswalks there, the problem is still there, that it's dangerous to cross and the kids are still crossing. So now with the indefinite timeline for a sidewalk and the crosswalk being denied, the parents are petitioning to try to get some crossing guards as a temporary relief measure because schools are in session again. Which is, again, a county responsibility. So here I am to say that we hope we can look into this case as a case study of some operational improvements on several fronts. One is to ensure clear ownership of such state highway projects for more efficient coordination and public communications, such as designating a case manager or point of contact from SHA or whoever, or whatever makes sense to you. Just because something has been tried and didn't meet your standard at the moment doesn't mean the problem actually goes away, right? The public needs to know who's in charge and how the government is going to solve their problems one way or another. Another concern is the lack of clarity on project status. I think Delegate Jerry Solomon from District 18 made a very good suggestion about dashboard of sort, and I would highly recommend something along the line, and I understand a response was given earlier, so I'm very pleased to hear that, because not knowing who to contact, when they can expect some kind of response or result, or who has the final say can be deeply frustrating and erodes public confidence and prolongs the problem. We definitely need a user-friendly tracking portal at both the county and the state levels without having to go through long email chains that often add more confusion to the process. I know from my recent Zoom call with the MCDOT team that MCDOT's new sidewalk status tracking program is already in the works. So apply to smaller projects for the same level of transparency that currently has for larger projects. And I certainly would highly recommend MDOT doing the same thing. And then finally, I agree with the parent advocates that school safety projects should be in a different category for your assessment of needs than the regular pedestrian safety projects, and given due priorities in your evaluation. And we need to have both short-term and long-term solutions for these dangerous roads near schools. We understand, of course, the demand far exceeds your capacity to deliver results quickly, but clear ownership, expectations, and efficient coordination could greatly benefit the party, the communities involved, and the departments. Thank you very much for listening to us.
So, Delegate, we're happy to use this as a case study. I think typically we don't always put in an I'm just a recovering engineer. He's a traffic engineer, so he's better at this than I am. But happy to look at this. I too have 3 children at home, so when I see an issue, I want to make sure it's addressed. I don't necessarily want bureaucracy to get in the way, but I do know there's protocol we need to follow in terms of if we're going to put a crosswalk in, we want folks to be able to go someplace safely. We just don't want that necessarily to put them in either more harm's way or in someone's backyard. So, but in the same time, I want to make sure we address the safety issue, and I think Derek is willing to get into those details. I don't know if you want to share anything else, sir.
As Administrator Smith mentioned, we can definitely revisit that location, particularly the data piece. So if the original study didn't take a careful look at the school traffic, we'll do that. And we'll follow up with your office in terms of some of our findings and where we can go from there. But like Administrator Smith mentioned, we typically are looking to, we're looking at connectivity, no matter where we put crosswalks. We're looking at topography and different things. But we can definitely revisit that location and make sure that we're being responsive to school conditions.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Delegate Linda Foley. I'm the newest member of this delegation, having been to one legislative session. But I just wanted to amplify a couple of things that Delegate Chee said. When I found that she was going to be talking about the situation near Clarksburg High School on Route 355, I personally experienced that when I was campaigning. I tried to walk along the road. Not only is there no sidewalk, there's no place to walk. Literally no place to walk. There's no shoulder. There's nothing. You can't even walk in people's yards because there's like a culvert there or a gully that you can't even walk on. So you have subdivisions, some new, some old, on one side of 355, and you have Clarksburg High School and the middle school on the other side of 355. And those children literally, and families literally, have no place to walk. And then you add to that there's no crosswalk there. No crosswalk, none. You can't even get across the street to get to the other side where the high school is, where there is a sidewalk. It is a very, very dangerous situation, and I did a lot of walking during the primary election in my district, and as Delegate Chee pointed out, it's not a very walkable district. In this situation, really felt that I was in real danger. I really got scared. Tried to cross the street, and if a car had not stopped on their own to let me cross, I could not have gotten across the street. It's a very, very bad situation. It needs to be rectified. And then, again, on the issue of walkability and sidewalks, as Delegate Chee said, there are a number of areas in our district where it's not simply not walkable. Another one I want to bring to your attention is Route 189, Falls Road, where we have a community center. And then the road continues down on Falls Road, and then the road continues on down to Potomac Village. This is in Potomac. During certain times, particularly the Potomac Community Center is an early voting center. We have had, fortunately we've not had a fatality, but we've had numerous incidences where cars have come to screeching halts, pedestrians have almost been hit. Because, again, it's not just that there's not a sidewalk, it's that there's no place to walk and there's no crosswalk. This year, they put crossing guards out there during early voting, helped the situation somewhat. But there are that road is on a bus line. There is a private school on that road, and it needs to be, it's just not walkable at all. Certain parts of it are. And I'm going to make another point about that, but in that from Potomac Community Center all the way down to Potomac Village, which is at least, I believe it's about a mile and a half to 2 miles, not walkable. And this is throughout our district, but those are two blatant examples. And one other point I want to make that I've observed in our district that I don't know how you fix this situation, but there are some roads, some state roads, like River Road, for example, 190, that does have somewhat of a bike path and a walking path. But here's what happens. So that goes for a while, and then it stops. This also happens on 189. So you have a path for a while, and then it just stops. It ends. And so if someone is riding their bike or walking, and they don't realize that that's going to happen, that creates another dangerous situation. So I don't know exactly how to rectify that, but it is something to look at in terms of pedestrian and bike infrastructure. And then just one other point that I want to make on bike infrastructure that I see a lot in our district that I think we should think about is putting a sign up on a road that says bikes share the roadway. It doesn't help the situation. It kind of creates a false sense, I think, for bikers that that there's some safety there, and there really isn't. That's those kinds of situations are rife throughout our district, particularly in the area that I live in, and I hope that they can be addressed. Thank you, and thank you for being here tonight.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Can I just be on the record for one piece? I won't take long, Delegate.
We know about White's Ferry.
Yeah, 30 minutes at the most. The Clarksburg High School and Rocky Hill Middle School issue, that goes back many, many years. I worked on this about 6 or 7 years ago, and we did not rectify the issue. My kids go to Rocky Hill Middle School and Clarksburg High School, and that place is a absolute nightmare in the morning and in the afternoon. I have seen cars do U-turns in the middle of 355 with kids walking all over the place. And part of it is because the schools have a very large population, but it's a disaster waiting to happen. So I just want to make sure I'm on the record with my colleagues on that.
And
Thank
all
you.
the moms and dads are taking their kids to school, right? Yeah.
There was a boundary study that changed a couple of years ago, and so it's a lot more complicated than just sticking a kid on a bus. Believe me when I say I wish I could just stick my kids on buses, but unfortunately not everybody gets that. Thank you.
Thank you, District 15. Let's bring up District 14, Delegate Queen. I still have to go Delegate Queen, District 16.
Oh no, what? You had your chance.
All right, there we go. All right, well, welcome Secretary Potts and the.
I've been called that before.
I'm tired. I make a commute from Montgomery County to Baltimore City on 295. So tell me about that commute. All right. Anyway, welcome the MDOT team to Montgomery County. On behalf of Legislative District 14 team, Senator Zucker, Delegate Kaiser, Delegate Lukey, and myself, Delegate Pam Queen, I want to also thank you all for your support for constituent services, as well as having hiring events in our community. We appreciate that. And we also want to thank you for the progress you're making on some of our CTP projects, the Brookville bypass, as well as the US 29 interchange at Musgrove and Fairland. So thank you very much for that. So we just have a few things, I promise you, only a handful of items that our constituents have asked about. One is to prioritize the funding to start the right-of-way and construction of Section D of the Route 198 project in Burtonsville. That's between Old Columbia Pike and US 29 interchange. To provide us a cost estimate for the shared use path on the south side of 198, that's between Dino Drive and McNew, so that we can provide our capital investment needs. Also, to prioritize the funding for construction of the shared use path on Maryland 108 from Albany to Ashton. The county has forward-funded the planning dollars, but we're asking for information on the construction funding amounts. And I just want to ditto that continue working with our constituents with the concerns about speeding on ICC. Please don't speed tonight when you go home. Well as
that looked bad.
As well as working on the congestion on Route Georgia Avenue, Route 97, and Route 28, Norbeck Road. Just one particular ask for you to consider this time around. We really would like for you to work with some of our community groups on federal funding for some of the community projects, specifically working with Montgomery County planning of the Fairland and Bridge Cheney Master Plan. I attended this summer with them webinars on the Reconnecting Communities grant programs with the federal government, and some of that funding really will work to address some of the issues we talked about, doing bridges across infrastructure and things, as we talked about, walkways. And so I think if we can use some of that federal funding, that would offset what the state needs to do. And so we would really encourage you to work with them, because they need some help with the planning and information to apply for these grants. So if we can find out a point of contact, we would like to work on that. And that's it for us. Thank you for your time and attention.
Point of contact is going to be Heather Murphy. We have two bridge programs. One is through the state. It's the old, we'll call it the old bridge program, if you will, that we've used for many, many years. The IIJA has opened up a new opportunity for bridge projects that the local government can put in for that the state is prohibited from putting in for. We did talk about that at Mako, and one of the things we encourage, I mean, this county has a lot of resources, and and you all have folks that can navigate through that federal process, but in many of the counties throughout the state, they do not. And so we ask them to try and look at getting consultants, because if they get the projects, they'll more than pay for themselves. But we're more than happy to work with you on some of those programs to help you navigate through that. That contact, the start would be Heather Murphy.
Thanks a million. Bye-bye.
Sure. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, District 14. I do have some parochial questions for District 16 on behalf of my colleagues, Senator Lee, Delegate Kelly, and Delegate Love. I'm very lucky. I got a lot of time with all of you through my subcommittee assignment, but these are things for my district, and I'm going to try to shift them more into terms of comments so you don't have to respond right now, unless, Mr. Secretary, you feel the need to jump in and get the last word, as so many of our interactions have seen. But we heard a lot of discussion.
Too. We'd like to get the last word in also.
I was trying to get it preemptively, but I guess
it's just competitive.
I guess I missed my chance. We heard a lot from Administrator Smith about the importance of protocols and warrants, and I understand all that. I'll just say, I've seen a sea change at the Maryland Department of Transportation and the State Highway Administration. When I started this job 8 years ago and came to the first one of these, all I heard was that hawk signals were illegal, and our job is to move cars, not people. And clearly that attitude has changed. Maybe it hasn't changed as quickly or as much as some of us would like, but clearly that's not the case. And my district is a great example of this. There are hawk signals and other types of pedestrian signals throughout District 16 now, thanks to the work of Derek Gunn and his predecessors, Administrator Smith and his predecessors. I think a lot of those are going to have to be changed to red lights, not just yellow lights, going forward, but appreciate it. There's a lot more to do. Maryland 187, Old Georgetown Road, it's gotten great attention from the State Highway Administration. Unfortunately, both rounds of attention have been as the result of fatalities, both in that case of young people. And we're continuing to patchwork the problem. We've added somewhat protected bike lanes, and we're extending that thanks to a recent decision of the State Highway Administration, which is tremendous, and I thank you for it. It would not have happened 8 years ago with your predecessors. Unfortunately, those lanes are not scheduled to be planned to run to downtown Bethesda, which is the place those bikers need to go. Right now, they're bike lanes to nowhere, as Delegate Foley was describing a moment ago. Appreciate that a pedestrian refuge is going in at 187 and Cordell. I think that project was approved 3 district engineers ago. I think I saw it in the plan for this year, but that's quite a while where the product has been identified and said we're going to do it and hasn't come in yet. I think we're using TAP funding to finally make it happen. On Maryland 190, River Road, which you heard a little about in District 15, it crosses both our districts. Administrator Smith mentioned great progress at Brayburn. That was the result of extraordinary intervention of your predecessor, with efforts I know you supported, but was not something that was easily done, and again took multiple fatalities for the results to happen. We have another situation on Maryland 190 where we have existing painted bike lanes, so the right-of-way is already there, and unfortunately a woman, Sarah Landekamp, was recently killed. That death will focus the elected officials, the State Highway Administration, and others, but we don't always want to be responding to those circumstances. I will say on that response, though, at least plastic flex posts, need to be installed there yesterday. Again, those are existing painted bike lanes. It doesn't require taking any traffic lanes. We have an emerging situation at Maryland 396, which is Massachusetts Avenue, and Little Falls Parkway, which is a county parks road, where because of another road closure, there's a lot more cars trying to turn there illegally, and frankly, we should be putting a protected turn lane in there, but I understand the engineers don't want to do that, but appreciate that SHA, State Highway Administration, in case Senator Kagan is still here, the State Highway Administration and others responsible for that area are all coming together to meet to try to solve the problem, but I do not want to be having that meeting after a fatality. There's a lot of schools in that area. I want the meetings and the progress to happen before. But I really appreciate all the incredible engagement on those issues. I'll mention two other things briefly. On Maryland 191, Bradley Boulevard, we have continuous stormwater issues. Those issues are not unique to Bradley. You have them all across your system. You mentioned a high season of rain, Mr. Secretary. I would just posit to you that I don't think that's going to change. I think that's the new norm. That's not an exception. And our infrastructure was not built for it. So I think we need to figure out how we're going to get ahead of that, recognizing what you said, which is that there's not bottomless resources. Our constituents, and they are our constituents, you mentioned representing the governor, but you also represent the residents of our state, really don't care if there's not bottomless resources. They don't want flooding when they're trying to drive their kids home from the bus stop where they picked up their kids after school. I'll just mention on the Purple Line, there's already been a lot of talk about it. Appreciate Holly and Matt both being here and understand the position on the reopening of the trail. I would just note that the promise came from a prior P3 concessionaire, and I just hope, Mr. Secretary, that you are thinking very carefully about the promises P3 concessionaires make in one year that may not be followed in future years, because it's a really important issue on a whole host of projects. So I know that was a lot. Let me give you the last word, Mr. Secretary, before I turn it back to Chair Kramer to close this out.
We'll get back to you.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay, well, Chair Kramer, any closing comments? You can have the last word.
Just want to extend my thanks to the Maryland Department of Transportation team, the Secretary, again to everybody who joined us this evening, our legislative colleagues, as well as our colleagues from city and county government. So thank you all, and look forward to continuing that teamwork that we have going here going forward.
And
thank you, Chair Corman.
Thank the council staff as well, and our House Administrator for organizing this evening.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much.
Good job.